Oh God.
Hello, we're alive. God. Sometimes when you hit the live button, oh man, I got my wires crossed. I'll have to fix that later. Damn it. I am so unprofessional. So we are going to hit the end. Welcome to Weaponry Fitness. We are live on X, Facebook, and YouTube. YouTube is the main platform for my channel. So make sure you guys go over there and check it out, subscribe, like, and share my content. Now, if you are just now coming to my channel, I started off doing martial arts stuff for a couple of years, and now I'm doing podcasts now, so I'm kind of transitioning. But I'll still be doing martial arts stuff, but we are going to mostly do podcasts related to finance, fitness, and relationship stuff. So it's going to be a whole couple of different things. And today we're going to finish up what we started last night. I started a little bit later than I wanted to, and then I had to get back on the road. So we are going to start on Pop the Balloon. We're gonna finish off with Pop the Balloon. We're gonna start off with Pop the Balloon. We only did the first part of it, but yeah, that was an interesting one. I never seen a guy leave with leave with a chick on the first round. Usually everybody just rejects the first guy because like women have options, so they want to know everybody that's available before they choose a person. So it's very rare that like the most attractive woman leaves with the first person. It's just you just don't see it happen too much. So we're gonna kick it off with Pop the Balloon. We're gonna start where we left off yesterday. And I got some other stuff to react to as well. Uh it's funny how they no let's go. So they're on the second guy right now.
All right, let's bring out our next single guy. Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
My name is Alex.
Alex, how old are you?
I'm 42.
And what do you do?
I'm a professor of theater. I'm also an actor, and I have a theater podcast called The Frog.
Oh, I saw somebody getting ready to pop their balloon, so I'm gonna rewind that back to see if you caught that. It's on the corner of the screen here.
I'm also big on
shit.
so
Never
we talk
mind.
theater.
I saw that.
And what do you do?
I'm a professor of
So she's getting ready to pop her balloon. So I'm trying to figure out what triggered it. Maybe it was the age. It could have been the outfit. It could have been the way he spoke.
theater. I'm also an actor, and I have a
Oh, he was an actor. So she probably doesn't want to. I think she's getting ready to pop her balloon because he stated that he was an actor. So she probably has a negative connotation about actors.
a theater podcast called The Frogs, where we talk theater and we talk theater.
Okay.
Oh no.
And now what are some things you like to do for fun?
Yo, this dude looks solid. Like, I don't know about the vest here, but the guy looks solid. So his jeans, they're fitted. They're not too baggy and they're not too tight. And he's got white shoes that shows that he keep himself clean. I would have to zoom in a little bit more, but they look pretty white. They look pretty clean. So it looks like everybody popped their balloons. Like the first girl, she was getting ready to pop the balloon as soon as she heard him say actor. So I don't think everybody as many girls popped the balloon. I don't think that many would have popped their balloons if she hadn't started it. So because like we know that women are hive minded, so when one pops, they all follow. Most of them will follow. So let's see what else he has to say.
I go to see plays, I go see movies, I hike, I'm also big on I'm big in history, politics, I read.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what do you look for in a woman?
Oh my God.
I look for somebody who is compassionate, somebody who is smart.
Mhm.
I like smart women. Somebody who is sweet, good listener.
Yeah.
And those type of things. Yeah.
Okay. What are some of your deal breakers?
Somebody who is not curious, and curious about people, not curious about, different like belief systems. Somebody who's
I'm very interested into what their reason is for popping their balloons because this guy, he's clean shaven. Maybe it could be the hair. I mean, I don't know. A lot of black people are bald, so and he is 42, so it has to be somewhat of the age and that he's an actor. Because he is solid. He's got nice. Like I said, I don't like this vest, but it's different. It looks tribal, so he's probably of African descent. Um, I don't know. He speaks clearly. He doesn't wear ice. He's wearing like natural like beads, type of like jewelry made out of like like the type of like wood stuff. Like I wear that kind of stuff. He's got a watch here. I can't tell if it's gold or not. It's the color. It's blending in the background, but um, his hand he might be a little bit nervous, so he has his hand kind of tucked in his pants, but it's not like it's in his pocket. So he's kind of like he might be. I think he's wondering the same reason why are they popping balloons. So I think that's why he has his hand like that. His overall though, his posture seems pretty solid. So
who's not very kind.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did get some pop balloons.
Yeah, we got a lot
Let's
of
go
them.
on. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping.
Come on,
We'll
let's
start
see.
here. Your name and age, please.
My name is Shahira. I'm 35.
And Shahira, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
He's an attractive guy.
Thank
I'm
you.
just I don't love the vest. I feel like I'm not
I
into
knew it.
actors in theater.
I knew it was the vest. It has to be the vest because it's offsetting from his the rest of his like the jeans and stuff. So I think if he would have wore long sleeve with that vest, this is the reason why I wear long sleeves with a lot of my vests. Anything that's kind of like a vest because it kind of blends it in a lot of times. So I think it would have been better if he wore khaki pants with it, but I'd have to see. So far, I knew they were gonna say something about his vest though.
I don't
You know how many times I hear that?
I don't like actors.
But let me.
Yeah.
I will say. I mean, not you. I totally appreciate. Appreciate and I respect what you're doing. I'm also an intellectual though. I'm also a professor of theater, and I'm also like I totally understand that because there's so much that comes along with actors, like this ego, this instability, right? But being a professor, that's something that grounds me from an intellectual point of view, from a financial point of view, like tenure
love
track, all
that.
that other stuff. But yeah,
I love that. Good for you.
thank you.
Now she's someone that's your type.
It's very attractive. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your name and age.
Hi, I'm Janaea Moore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33.
And Janae, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
I ended up popping my balloon because a little on the older side for me. And
Really?
Long in the tooth. That's what I say.
First of all, 42 isn't too old for a 33-year-old. Actually, that's like a very good age gap, in my honest opinion.
for me, I'm not calling you old. You're just a little on the older side for me. It's fine. And
And he fits the criteria. He's not overweight. He's in shape. So a lot of times when people say, "Oh, you're too old for me," they get the preconceived connotation that the guy is out of shape. He's got gray hairs. But this guy for 42, this looks good for 42. He looks he looks healthy. He speaks clearly. So there's something else she doesn't like that she doesn't want to admit. So let's see what else she says.
and yeah, I mean, kind of what she said with acting and all that. Like, it's cool. I'm glad that you're a professor. I appreciate your you being smart. I like.
You know what's funny? They're disqualifying for being an actor, but if he was, we just lost Twitter. Whatever. Damn, what was I gonna say? Oh, he's not a popular actor. If he was a popular actor, if he had higher status, if they all knew about him, they probably wouldn't have popped their balloons. That's just my take.
Like smart people, so
Really?
that's good. Yeah.
No, she's someone
I
that's
gotta
your type.
figure-
I ain't got no type, you know. Bad bitches is the only thing I like.
Oh,
Mm.
and the cussing.
Hold on, I gotta check my audio, make sure my audio's good, because I don't know why I lost Twitter. Why did Twitter kick me off? Why the hell did you guys kick me off, you assholes? Oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on, hold on. So we got some breaking news. I saved that. I saved that tidbit just in case I get some breaking news, because this just clicked, just showed up in my feed. So this is it's one of the co-founders of Gala, and it says that, as I said, staking is coming to Gala. If all 50K founder nodes stake 1 million each, that would equal the total supply of the token. Should staking be required to earn in Gala ecosystem? And should nodes stake even more to show their community support? Yes. 40% says yes. So if staking comes to Gala, that might be a huge break for Gala. So if you are a Gala holder or a Gala investor, let me know in the comments. Let me know. Don't let me know. You really don't have to let me know, but like, let me know if you're feeling Gala, if you know about Gala, because a lot of people are talking crap about Gala, and it has integrated to the Solana chain. It's on, obviously, it's on the Ethereum ecosystem as well. I'm just like, I do not talk shit about ETH, but we need ETH to get its shit together so we can get the other cryptos, all the alts, all the other alts that's on the Ethereum ecosystem to run. So we can't rely on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up there in price right now, and barely any of the other alts are running. It could have a lot to do with a lot of other things too. Like, people are just not convicted in their altcoins. Everybody's selling altcoins and getting back into ETH. So, but for the most part, Gala Games they're making a serious effort to pushing this projects, man. So like, I don't know why people are like talking crap about Gala, but I think they are making good strides in the right direction. So shout out to Gala, man. We're gonna give this a like. And that's really all I wanted to talk about. So I just wanted to see why the hell they shut my stream down on Twitter. I Let me see if I can get back on Twitter. Nope, we can't. So Twitter, well, yeah, we're gonna go back to the video. Screw it. So share this tab. Boom.
I think I said biddies though.
Did you?
I said biddies.
Let's rewind the tapes.
Yeah, let's rewind the tapes. Let's do it.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's go over here. Your name and age.
Liz, 36.
All right. And Liz, why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm just didn't feel that initial attraction.
Okay.
You're a handsome guy, but I just
I believe it. I believe it.
All right. So I know you say you don't have a type, but if you saw her out, is she someone you would approach?
Yeah, I like the fit. I like the personality. Great smile.
thank you.
Yeah.
Your name and age.
Nikki, 33.
All right. Nikki, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
Well, I will say you're very handsome and you're very well spoken. I like taller guys.
I just want to take a time out real quickly. Like, just take a time out real quickly. Every single person said like very handsome, very. It's just it's interesting. I mean, I think this is like a.
Okay, so I don't know. And if I was in his position, I wouldn't try to get an answer of why they rejected you. They have to say something. So you either take it or leave. If they're not attracted to you in some way, shape, or form. At 42, you should have enough experience with women to know why they reject you. Um, some of them will be honest, but some of them they don't want to come off as um, what's the word? They don't want to come off as shallow, so they got to reject you. They got to kind of use the same verbiage as the other women to make them not look as bad. So um, I don't I don't really subscribe to the idea that you have to get a deeper explanation of why they reject you. I think when men do that is because they just can't handle rejection. But at the same time, a lot of people get so much rejection, they just need answers. They need the right answers, and nobody's telling them the truth. And it sucks for men because we have to get rejected 1,000 times before we figure shit out. So um, I do have a story about one of my one rejection that I had. I'll probably tell that at a later time. I don't think right now is the right time, but like that that one rejection kind of changed me for the better. I'm glad I got rejected in that possible situation because it helped me learn that you don't approach women in certain environments, and I'll definitely go explain that because it was a funny rejection. Anyway, let's see what he has to say.
A wonderful opportunity to learn like a lot about connection, attraction. And I do appreciate that. You know what I mean? I guess like it's surface level. The thing about this stuff is like you never ever really get to know somebody on a deeper level. But I do appreciate that though.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So he was just showing his appreciation for why they rejected. Okay, so well, that's pretty cool though.
Mhm.
And now, how tall are you? Does she want someone a little bit taller?
5'9".
I'm 6 feet.
Oh, he's 6 feet.
How tall are
They
you?
got heels on.
5'8", but I always wear heels.
Okay.
I always wear heels.
I'm just not I'm not a small girl, so I need a bigger man. That's all.
Oh, I'm not a small presence though, baby.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can see that.
Mhm.
Now she's someone that you would approach.
Oh yeah, I love the confidence. I love the bigness. You know what I'm saying? The big, bright aura.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you. Your name and age.
Anita, and I'm 37.
All right. Anita, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
He has a pretty big personality. It might be a little much of a clash for me.
Okay. Okay. Is she like calmer? Is that?
I like outgoing. I just don't think I'm attracted.
Oh, they want niggas, man. He's not a nigger.
So for him, it's not really reading well with me.
Okay. All right. No, she's someone that's your type.
She's just a nice person. I mean, I probably initially wouldn't.
So this is I get this a lot too. I mean, clearly I'm not fully black. I'm half black, but like if you're black and you're not a nigga, some girls will reject you. You're too proper. I don't know what it is. It's probably the dark triad trace they're looking for if you're in that if you're in that ethnicity. So um usually these kind of black guys will go for a white girl. They'll go for any race. Most black guys will go for any race, but like if you're a nigga man, don't expect like black women to go for you because they like niggas, man. They don't really like proper black guys. Um yeah, but it's I mean, what can you do, man?
If I saw the person, I probably wouldn't initially approach her. But you know, I'm big on personality, spirit, and energy.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Your name and age.
My name is Natalie. I'm 38 years old.
And Natalie, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
Upon coming out, I think, of course, we only have physicality to see. So you're cool, looks good, fine, whatever. But I also believe that we got the same instructions. I would only think we got the same instructions for dress to impress or a date night. And I feel that if we were to go out, that we would not be going the same place. So it's just not my.
That's another thing that women will do. You'll see this a lot in apps, dating apps too. Like if you don't look like somebody they want to be with, they will definitely disqualify you right off the bat. So they kind of like some women will be like, "What's your lifestyle like?" They don't even look at the person in the picture. They'll see what's in the background. What's the setting? Are you in a beach setting? Do you have a bunch of people behind you? Are you in a social setting? Are you by yourself? So a lot of women, most women will like they want to envision themselves with you, if that makes sense. So she's looking at the way he's dressed. Obviously, it's again he's proper, so he's probably around high IQ individuals. So she feels kind of she'd feel out of place if she wasn't with somebody who shared the same kind of experiences as she has. So that's kind of my that's kind of how I take or look at it. So
My thing.
Your vibe.
Yeah. But I mean, do you? Of course.
That's all I can do.
Of course.
Yeah.
yo,
So
this
where
cameraman like this cameraman does this all the time, man. Like what the what?
would you typically wear this out like for dinner or anything like that?
I mean, I think I'll probably wear this out for, like a casual. What I like to do, I guess I could just go ahead and tell the type of date I would go. Like a museum is probably where I would first start at, and then go to like a rooftop. And then after that, probably go out dancing, And this, as being Nigerian American, right, I'm always looking for a way to
I
like
was wrong. Not African Nigerian.
bring in where I'm from and my culture, right? Because I do think that we have an idea about what is supposed to be, I guess, like high culture, if you would, and I like to kind of bring a little bit of myself.
Okay. Now, is she someone that's your type?
Not as much. I do feel a little bit of judgment, so probably not.
So I'm gonna rewind that just a little bit. Let's see, 29. So when she asked if she's his type, look at his eye contact. Hold on, let me blow this up a little more. Just watch his eye contact because he's not looking for just looks. He's looking for somebody with some personality. So he's looking around. He's not even looking at her. So when someone asks you when somebody asks a man, what's your type or is she your type? Usually the man checks her out, looks her up and down for physical attraction, but he's not looking for that. He's looking for more of intelligence and the way they carry themselves. So
That's what you feel. I mean, what can I say to that?
No, nothing at
Yeah.
all. You don't have to.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Let's go over here.
I'll
Your
scroll
name and
back.
age.
Hold on.
I like to kind of bring a little bit of myself.
Okay. Now, is she someone that
Okay, so watch his eye contact. He's looking at her right now, but once she finishes her question, what's his type? Or if she's his type, he's gonna look around, he's gonna look for traits and qualities of a woman that he envisions in the girl that he wants to date. So physically, she's not unattractive. I feel like she could lose a little bit of that body fat, but like he's looking around, he's talking about what she wants, what he wants in a woman other than her looks. So
that's your type?
Not as much. I do feel a little bit of judgment, so probably not.
and I mean that's not really look, man, everyone's gonna judge you. So women have to be judgmental. They just have to. I feel like they sometimes judge in the wrong areas. Like they're judging more on physical characteristics more than what the man is like his mission is. Like I think women should really focus on what the man's mission is. And obviously attraction is going to be one of the first things you look at, but like what's the man's ambition? Is he driven towards something? So these women are all at the age of they need to find somebody immediately. So they don't really have time to be looking at they don't have the options to be looking at attractive people. So the people that's going to be in their dating range are not going to be the most attractive people. I can tell you that.
That's what you feel. I mean, what can I say to that?
No, nothing at
Yeah.
all. You don't have to.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Let's go over here. Your name and age.
Sophia, 36.
And Sophia, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Initial attraction.
I just caught her name Sophia. Like if you spell that Sophia, like it's a white name, but she just sounds it out differently. Well, that's kind of interesting.
I didn't see that we would connect. Yeah.
Okay. Now, she's someone that's your type.
Probably similar.
Again, he looks away because he's not looking for physical attraction, so he's looking for personality, and it's gonna be hard to find that on a dating, um, because this is kind of like a dating app, except you can actually get more information from the other sex. So again, he's looking for something of substance. Oh,
Like she seems like a nice lady, but I probably wouldn't approach her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
at least he's being honest, though. He's being honest, though. I mean, like I said, man, this is why women tend to date older, because men just don't give a shit anymore. So like they're going to be honest. The older a man, the more experience a man has, he's going to be honest about his preferences, his boundaries, and everything. And I'm starting to get that now because I'm extremely honest when it comes to dating now. So
Head on back. We do still have an unpopped balloon. Your name and age.
I'm Jessica and I'm 36.
All right. So Jessica, we see you're still holding on to your balloon. Why so?
We are in a similar career fields. I'm an artistic director for a dance company.
Oh snap!
So I definitely relate to what you practice for work.
Right.
I will say this though, like a lot of people get together because they work the same field or like the same job. Like a lot of people are just like, we're always advised not to date a coworker, but like if you have the same background, I would say that's a good interest to get to know each other, because then you could have some of the same conversations. You guys have something in common. So I wouldn't recommend dating a coworker, obviously for reasons that most men know, but people do it anyway. But like he seemed very excited that she was an art director. So good. I hope he scoops her up.
have similar interests. I love reading. I enjoy going to museums. Some of the same similarities. So
All right. So do you guys have any questions for one another?
Sure. You want to go first? Go
I
ahead.
do.
Yeah.
What is your faith?
My faith.
Yes.
Okay. So I grew up Christian. I grew up Roman Catholic, right? And I continue. I like to say that, like, I continue to go to church. Like those metaphors work for me a lot. The teachings of Jesus. Grace is probably one of the most like pivotal things that I think that I really, really take from that. The idea of like having grace with oneself and having grace with other people. I'm also very, very curious about other religions, other beliefs.
Okay, so I think he's talking a little bit too much. Like she just asked one simple question: what's his fate? He should have been a little more direct. He doesn't have to explain himself too much. So it just seems like he is really trying to oversell that he's in his faith. So I'd be careful with that when you're just like, especially in this type of environment, you want to try to keep it to a minimum. I mean, you could do a lot of the details afterwards, but like I think he's going overboard on this.
Systems, like I'm constantly exploring, whether it be like Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism. I'm just like curious.
Do you look at the girl in the background? Like she's like, man, this guy's talking too much. He's saying too much right now. So it's just you want to come off as if you're confident in the direction that you're going. So he seems like he's all over the place with his Christian, with his religion. So you got to be careful with that, because if you seem like you don't know, you're not direct about what you're going to do, it's going to make you look like you're undecisive. So
those things.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pop.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm very curious what she says. So if I explained it right, we're gonna see.
Why gender popping?
I am a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and I prefer to date someone who is firm in their beliefs and shares that commonality.
Yes, see, he came off as too indecisive. So I think I told you can't talk too much, man. He revealed way too much information.
Yeah.
All right. Now she's someone that you would go for?
I did really appreciate, especially when you're an artistic director. I also appreciated that you said that you like to read. That was great. I was going to ask you what the last book you read was. What was the last book you read? Just curiosity.
So like sometimes when you're first meeting a woman, you're trying to be a little bit. You're trying to sell yourself. So a lot of times when you talk too much, you try to oversell yourself and you say stuff that really doesn't portray what you are. So, I mean, a lot of that stuff could have been true. It could have been not true. You could have been making it up as it go along just by watching her eye contact. Like a lot of men will make up a lot of stuff to try and intrigue a woman. But like I said, he said too much and it made it seem like he was indecisive. Like so, when someone asks you a direct question like what's your faith, just say, well, I'm Catholic, I'm Islam. Don't tell them that you're thinking about switching to another religion, because that makes you seem like you're trying to sell her on a dream that may not come into fruition, like you're just meeting them for the first time. So I think that's why she popped her balloon. If he wouldn't have said too much, she would have probably kept her balloon.
Sure. Well, I'm currently reading a book by Eric Butterworth,
Okay.
Discover the Power Within You.
What?
So
Self-help, self-betterment.
yeah, it
Yeah.
ties in my beliefs, so my faith, and then just how to harness that power from within and exude it out. So
Yeah.
What was the last book? Well, I guess
I mean, you
Come on,
popped
go
on him,
ahead.
girl. It don't matter anymore.
Mm.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Let's go back.
Ta-Nehisi Coates, The Message.
He still had to tell you.
She was still trying to get more information from him, so she popped the balloon based on his indecisiveness. So she was interested, she just didn't, she wasn't sure that he was sure. So it's kind of funny, man.
I had to get it in. I had to get it in.
All right. Well, that's all the balloons popped, unfortunately. But thank you so much for coming on.
I appreciate you.
Let's give it up for him, ladies. I'll take
Thank
the
y'all.
mic.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Let's bring out our next single guy. Hello. Welcome in. What's your name?
Ty,
Ty. And how old are you?
47.
What do you do?
I'm a college.
They're all gonna pop based on his age, but looks like he got some money, man. I don't like, man. I am not a suit person, but like that's a nice suit, man. It's very casual. He came in, he's got his hand in his pocket, so shows that he's a little bit nervous. But I mean, he's got a nice clean cut, but 47 might be too old for some of these ladies.
Professor and a therapist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What are some things you like to do for fun?
Travel, go to the movies, work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you look for in a woman?
Fit, feminine, and friendly.
All right. And now what are some
He watches RP content because everybody in RP says that. So
of your deal breakers?
Definitely just health. Health is big. And being combative, I would say.
Mm,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So we did get pop balloons.
yeah, it's the age. They're not feeling the age, even though he's a tall black man and he's in shape. So it's definitely the age, even though he's not older. He's not that much older than these ladies, man. These ladies are like tripping, man.
Going over there, see why they ended up popping.
Okay.
All right. We'll start here with your name and age.
Hi, my name is Shahir. I'm 35.
Right. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
You're very handsome, very well put together. Love your outfit. You just remind me, you look like my dad. So I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Okay,
but
it's all good.
Good luck to
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, is she someone that's your type?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Hi, I'm Janaea Moore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33. And I ended up popping my balloon because age difference, just a little bit older, but
Cool.
like you're actually
Yeah.
like my type.
Okay.
So, but you're
Okay,
just a little
cool.
older.
Yeah.
All right. Now she's someone that's your type.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
What makes her your type? Let's get you talking a little bit.
I mean, I like her style, like her look, and I like that the age range is great. I mean, 30s is good. 10-year difference is great these days. With maturity and energy. So yeah,
15 years, but yeah.
yeah, all right, yeah.
I'm a math person.
That's
So.
all.
15 years is very short. It's very small age range, and especially, well, you don't know too much about him. You don't know his health, but like somebody who's 47 dating a 35-year-old, that's not bad. That's not a big age range. But so the reason why I keep a clean shave, as you can see, is to make myself look younger. So I would have grays on my beard, but I keep it shaved. I would have a little bit of hair right here, but I shaved it all off recently just so I can regrow and reline my beard. So at 47, I would hope to look just as good as like he looks pretty decent for 47. So can't really knock that. But he's dressed well. So yeah, it's just there's two types of women, man. They want a guy who has his shit together, or they want a guy they could build with. So a guy that has his shit together is usually gonna be older. So it looks like these ladies want somebody to build with. They don't want somebody who has already built an empire. They don't want to move in. They want to help build the house. So this is very important for if a guy is looking to get into the dating market. Find a girl that if you want to build with, you're gonna have to keep in mind that she's probably going to be on the same level as you. She may not have the same amount of respect for you as she would for somebody that is older and more experienced, like has his shit together. So you gotta know what kind of type of person you're dealing with. So I've noticed that a lot in the dating world. A lot of people just want to build with somebody. So they want somebody closer to their age. They want the same experiences. And then you got the younger chicks who want the older guys who have got their shit together. There's nothing wrong with that. You could do it either way if you want, as long as you know what you want in the person. So as long as if you pick someone the same age, just be aware that they're not gonna have their shit together when you first meet them, and then once you get in their life, it's gonna come to a slow halt, especially if you're not an asset to their life. So if you're a woman, you're always asking him to stay home, you're asking him to show you a lot of attention. That means he is not out there. He's not out there hunting. So, like right now, I'm single. I've been single for a while. I've been hunting, and when I mean hunting, I mean like getting my shit together. So, I've been extremely aggressive. So, I think a lot of times men they kind of slow down because like I'm not gonna say that women are the prize, but like once they finally get a woman and they lock her down, he just like what else do I need to do to keep her? I already got her, so that's usually when men lose their ambition is when they get with a woman when they start LTRs and stuff. So just keep that in mind.
All good. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Your name and age.
My name is Liz. I'm 36.
Am I back on Twitter?
Liz, why did you end up popping
Yeah.
your balloon?
You're gonna hate this, but you remind me of my dad too, in the best way.
Yo, that's funny. I'm about to go see if I'm back on Twitter. If I'm not back on Twitter, that's interesting, man. Y'all keep messing with my feelings, man. Oh, let's get back. Hey, we're back on Twitter. My Twitter people. The fuck? Okay, whatever. All right, let's continue with the video.
In the best way.
Okay.
Like,
Make sure you guys like the video. God damn it.
attractive guy.
Okay, all
I
right.
just was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Okay.
just remind me of
Yeah.
that. I'm so sorry.
What about him reminds?
Just your energy. You seem very like lively, and you're
Okay.
you're a little bit
Yeah.
older than me. I'm only 36.
Yeah. All right, sounds
But
good.
yeah, you just remind me of my dad. Like the smile, like
Hey,
everything.
it's all good. All right.
No,
yeah.
she's someone that's your type.
Yeah, I would say so. She has a nice
So
smile.
if you're saying 47-year-old is too old for a 36-year-old, what happens if you're 47? Are you not going to date a 57-year-old? Like when does the time clock really when do ladies actually realize that their time clock is running out? I'm just saying, like, this guy is a nice candidate, like no homo or anything, but like he seems like a nice candidate for him. He's tall, looks like he has his stuff together. I mean, he needs to take his hand out of his pocket, but like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's his thing. So
Good, good attitude, good energy. So yeah, I would say so. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your name and age.
Nikki, 33.
Hi,
Nikki,
Nikki.
why'd you end up popping
Yeah.
your balloon?
I might want to unpop it.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Do you want the balloon back?
Do you want me to take it back?
It's up to you.
I do, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Let's get
yeah.
another balloon for Nikki. Oh. There we go. All right, we'll be back then. Let's go on over here. Your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Natalie. I'm 38 years old. I popped the balloon. I'm thinking long term, like marriage, grandkids, all that stuff. I just don't see us standing
Yeah.
side by side in family pictures.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, is she someone that's your type?
No, not really.
And why not?
Beautiful woman, wonderful lady, just not feeling the energy, but
Yeah.
you're a great person.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's head on back. So we've got 4 balloons left unpopped.
All right.
All right. So go ahead and ask our ladies a question.
So what kind of things you like to do for fun?
Okay.
Oh my
Just
God,
name an
that's the
age
most
and what do you
general
like to do for
question you can
fun?
ask, man.
I'm Jessica. I'm 36, and I enjoy traveling. I'm fortunate to have a wonderful job.
Okay.
So I actually have fun teaching the girls that I work with. I'm an
Okay.
artistic director for a dance studio.
Okay.
So anything artistic, I love. I also love God.
Okay.
So I
good,
love serving
good.
in different ways.
Good. All right. Nice.
Over here, your name and age, and what do you like to do for fun?
Nikki, 33. I actually love the movies as well.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite things to do. And I like to make things. I own a balloon delivery service.
Okay.
So I'm super creative. I'm always trying to make something I've seen, saw. And I love to cook.
Nice. Okay.
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 All right.
All right.
Let's go on over here. Name and age and answer to his question.
I'm Anita. I'm 37.
Okay.
And so outside of just work, I like to DJ. I just started DJing in 2023. My father passed, and in honor of him, I started DJing last year because he was a DJ. And I'm a creative entrepreneur. So like anything that has to do with bringing culture together, Afro-Caribbean culture, making things fun outside of the club and what the generation is so used to doing, I try to do. So brunches, balls, fashion shows, anything outside of, even though,
Okay.
I like to have fun.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
And over here, your name and age and what do you like to do for fun?
Sophia, 36. I love hot yoga. I'm also a DJ, a designer, and a music publisher. So very creative. I like to make dresses, bodysuits, and I'm Ghanaian. So I love pushing the African culture and being a first generation Ghanaian American. Yeah, just representing. So that's what I love to do.
Okay.
All right. So let's head on back. I'm now going to hand you a pick. There you go. And I'm going to have you pop 1 balloon.
Just one?
Oh, you want to pop more?
Oh,
I mean, you can pop more if you want.
Okay. Let's see. So, okay. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Okay.
Man.
So why was your balloon unpopped?
Very nice gentleman. Seemed very kind.
She's got that masculine face, so like that's why all the men keep popping her balloon though. It's like, I don't know, man.
And I think he has an athletic structure. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. And why'd you end up popping hers?
First of all, wonderful woman. Didn't really want to pop it, but just not my style though. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We've got our 3 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them another question.
What's your ideal first date?
Ideal first date. We'll start there and come back. What is your ideal first date?
My ideal first date is anything that we could do where we can get to know each other for real, intentionally. Like not the movies or we can go eat. I love to eat, but I want to be able to talk to you, have fun with you, and see you in different that. So maybe bowling.
Man, every time the guys ask general questions, like questions that are always being asked, you're going to get very general answers. So like that, I don't know if that's the right type of question to ask on this type of environment. You want to come prepared, man. Make sure you ask questions that make them think, man, because they've probably been asked these questions 1,000 times, so they've already got an answer ready for them.
Top golf, something like that.
Okay.
And what about over here?
I love an interactive date, but for the first date, I like good food. So nice restaurant. I like to dress up. So something a little fancy, maybe. That's what I'm into.
Nice. And over here, what's your ideal first date?
Of course, you can't go wrong with a dinner date. But I enjoy planning different activities. One of my favorite things to do is plan scavenger hunts. So maybe a small scavenger hunt before we sit down to eat, because it'll show your personality, and how you accept challenges.
Okay. Like that.
Right, that's
All
different.
right.
Okay, let me have you pop one more balloon.
Sure. Sorry, sweetie.
Oh,
I'm
she got
telling you,
it back.
it's the dress she has. It's too nightwear. Like it looks like she's going to the club, or it's like kind of like an underwear type of thing. Like, and it's the blonde hair. So a lot of men are gonna pop your balloon on this type of, especially an older guy like that. He's looking for someone to take serious, not like a one night stand. So, and that's kind of why she's that's what she like given a perception of. It's like she looks like a one night stand. So.
All right. So why was your balloon unpopped?
Well, when he smiled, he's very handsome. I like to smile.
Okay.
Thank you.
And why did you end up popping hers?
Wonderful lady. You have a great smile. Just not my style though. But thank you. Yes.
And what makes her not your style?
I think just the outfit just doesn't work for me. And
Oh yeah, Arlene called him out because he said that about the other girl. So Arlene caught that. It's like, man, be more specific, because when you keep giving simple answers like that, you're not being specific. You got to give it more detail. Like, just say that you don't like her hair. That's all.
fitness levels is a concern for me as well. Yeah.
Oh, but that's pretty obvious. I wasn't gonna put that out. I've already pointed that out too many times in this, man. They've all got some work to do on their fitness.
Thank you. Let's head on back. We've got 2 ladies left. Ladies, any questions for our guy? Okay, she was ready. I'll come back.
What's your faith and how do you actually practice?
Oh, okay. Protestant Christian. I attend church regularly, and I'm very involved in church as much as I can. And I just try to incorporate, biblical values into my personal life as much as possible. So.
See, that was a little more direct than the last time. The last guy just went on and on about his faith and stuff. So I mean, he could have shortened it a little bit, but he was like spot on with that answer. So yeah.
I can ask another one. Do you have any kids?
See, it gave her time to ask another question too. So you don't want to be you want them to know as much information about you as possible, because that's usually how women gauge their connection for you. So like if you're spending too much time on an answer on a question that they ask, you're just, women aren't going to listen to you for too long before they disqualify you. So you want to keep your answers as direct as possible. Like I said before, in this type of setting, because there's other guys on the line that they're willing to meet, or that they may meet. So you want to be as direct as possible, give them the best answer possible without talking too much.
I have 2 kids, 16 and 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any kids?
No, I don't. Yeah. Do you want kids or more kids?
So I'm past the age to have more, but if she has children,
he's not really past the age. He just doesn't want any more kids, because if he had a kid in the next 3 years, the kid would be in his 70s when the kid turns 18, 20ish. So he doesn't want to have any more kids at this age. So he can have kids at that age. But this is what I hate when people say, like, oh, we can have kids all the way up until they're 50 and 60. Nope. Like, I think that's cope to make women, to frown upon women because they have a biological clock. We also have a clock, but it's not biological. It's more mental and physical. A lot of us don't want to raise kids in our 60s. Like, we don't want to raise young children in our 60s. So I think people need to use some critical thinking. Like, man, we do have a clock. It's just not a biological clock. So obviously he has kids. He doesn't want a 1-year-old after having a few teenagers already. So
I would love to, entertain that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like everything about you, but I really do want to bring it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're very handsome.
I'm so sorry. I'm too old for kids. I'm sorry. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
So you had it on for so long. Like, well, what was making you hang on to it?
I wanted to make sure that he was about God. I was looking at the jewelry, making sure it wasn't like anything. So
I'm definitely.
But I do want to bring children into this world.
I'm so sorry. You'll have great kids though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're so handsome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Is she someone that's your type?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely. So
Okay. Let's go back over here. Why'd you end up popping?
I popped because you mentioned that you don't want kids, and I definitely want
more kids.
Yes, more kids. Yeah, Yeah, I love children. So if any lady has them, I would be a great stepdad. But I just think I'm too old to have more. So I'm sorry. Yeah.
I understand.
Man, as the more and more I keep looking at these, like, and just like observing from bird's eye view, like it's harder for both men and women to date at a later age. It's just harder for women. It's harder for men because women do want children, and then men, they don't really want children at that age. So they're kind of both having the same issue when they reach a certain age. Women are having a hard time dating in their later ages, like 30, 35 plus, because they just age out of the dating market. Women or men want younger men. I mean, men want younger women to have kids with. So it's the same thing with younger women. They want kids, so they need to pick a younger man because they know that he is on a clock, not a biological clock, as I've mentioned before, but a mental and physical clock because men just don't want to raise younger children in their later ages. So, um, it's kind of tough, man, for both. So it's not. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's not probable typically. So older men typically turn into like once they get their shit together, they start turning into womanizers because they can't really fully commit to a woman younger age because they want kids, they want a family. So he doesn't want to start a family late, so he has to find somebody closer to his age who is not looking for a family. So, but that's just. I think people need to understand the timelines of a man and a woman. Like women typically don't care because they don't have to. Like men are just throwing themselves at them, but like men need to understand the biological clocks, the mental, the physical clocks of women, like the three stages of women. So, um, obviously their early stage, which is their whole phase. And the whole phase doesn't mean that they're sleeping around. It's just the phase that they have where they're at their highest sexual peak, which is between like 18 and 28. That's the years that they have to look for the highest value man possible. So when they get to that 29, 30 range, that's their hope. That's that's their epiphany phase. They find out they're aged out of the dating market. They missed out on finding that higher value person. So now they need to find a guy locked down, possibly have kids with and a family with. Now, if they don't find it by that age, they crawl into the wall. You're going to hear that a lot in the space, which is not physical, it's mental. It's that they cannot compete with their younger self, not with the women that are younger, just with their younger self. They miss out on a chance to lock down a high value dude during their peak years, which is like 21 to 24. And they have to settle. They basically have to settle, man. Because every man wants them still if they still look physically attractive, but it's not the guy that they want typically. So um men need to understand those phases, and as do women, because women we all age. They just age out quicker of the dating market. So
All right.
Yeah.
And now she's someone that's your type.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So yeah. So sorry. Yeah.
Well, that's all the balloons popped,
All right. Thank
unfortunately.
you.
But
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much for
ladies.
coming
Yeah.
yo,
on.
they just let two good dudes get by. Like the first guy, yo, it's funny, man. The first guy got away with the hottest chick on the panel. That is crazy. And then the next two dudes were just too old for these guys, the ladies. So um that is funny, man. And they were all good dudes. It's just the first dude was like overweight. And he was the youngest though. He was the youngest. He was 38. The second guy was 43 and this guy was 47. So they have a problem with age. So which is fine. I'm not gonna knock you for your preferences, but like you just don't have much time left to lock down a guy. And then you had two good dudes um that make good money. You just let them go.
Let's give it up for
Good
him,
luck.
ladies.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's bring out our next single guy. Hello, welcome in. Can we get your name?
My name is Josh.
Josh, okay. And Josh, how old are you?
Well, I got two ages.
Oh.
All right. So chronologically, I'm 40.
Okay.
But biologically, I'm 35.
And
What the hell? That doesn't make sense. That's some kind of female's fuckery, man. Like, what the hell? Now, first of all, he walked out. Nobody popped their balloons yet, so they probably wanted to wait for his age. He's got his shirt tucked in. He's wearing a white. What the hell is that? That's like a cotton tee. He's got a belt. He's got khaki pants. He's got his shirt tucked in. He's a fit. He's got a big frame, big muscle mass. Now, a lot of women will disqualify for these dreads, but as we looked as earlier before, one of the men got disqualified because he wasn't nigga. So we're gonna find out because this guy kind of looks like yo, hold on, man. Yo, this guy looks like Dylan Brooks, man. Yo, he looked like a fucking Walmart Dylan Brooks. Well, technically. He looks more beefy than Dylan Brooks, man. That's funny. Hold on.
how does that work?
Well, chronologically, it's like time,
Yeah.
you know, and biologically, it's like health. Health
Oh,
markers.
okay. So you're saying health wise, you're 35.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, that's man. You didn't need to say. You didn't need to do all that, man.
All right. We'll let you have it. And what do you do?
I work in the mental health field.
Nice. Very nice. What are some things you like to do for fun?
I like to work out, roller coasters. What else? I skydive before, read books. So yeah.
Okay. All right. And what do you look for in a woman?
She has to have the divine feminine, kind, compassionate. Yeah.
Okay. And some deal breakers?
Deal breakers. Kids. minor
Okay.
kids.
Kids.
Yo,
Okay.
he's a little nervous, so he's having a hard time thinking. Nobody popped their balloons yet, so he's like, he knows he has there are the initial traction so far is good. So as if they don't pop their balloons as soon as he walks in, that means they're okay with his outfit, they're okay with his height, they're okay with his look. But when you open your mouth and you say something stupid there, say something that they don't like, that's when they start popping their balloons. So he's being careful with his wordage. So it's actually hurting him because he's slipping up a little bit. He can't even get his thoughts together.
That's your
Like multiple baby daddies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we haven't got any pop balloons, but before we go over there, we did have you on the show before and you ended up matching. What happened with your match?
Oh,
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
Didn't work out. Okay. Well, welcome back. We're glad to
you.
have you.
Appreciate
Hopefully, we find you someone today.
Right, appreciate that.
All right. So, like I said, no one. Oh, okay.
I'm willing to bet that one of these girls is gonna ask him why didn't it work out. They want to get to the bottom of why it didn't work out. So watch. One of these girls is gonna ask him that.
did get a pop. Come on over here. Okay. Your name and age.
Nikki, 33.
Nikki, why did you end up popping your balloon?
You're very handsome. I just don't like hair on men.
Yeah, she don't like the dreads, so
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Right.
And now is Nikki someone that's your type?
All right. I'm gonna take a. Can I look you up and down?
what?
All right. The dress.
What? He asked permission? Yo, remember the last guy said when a girl asks, when she asks you what your type is, usually they check you out physically. So he's looking for somebody that's physically attractive. So that's why he asked that question. But usually when men are asked that question, they don't look into the deep sea to find out if they don't list off a bunch of qualities about your personality and stuff. They want to know if you're attractive. So he's looking for physical attributes.
It's a little bit too short. But if it was a little longer, yeah.
Okay. Just a dress.
So yes.
So yes, you are.
So yeah, I am.
Just the dress. So.
Okay. Thank you. Did get another pop over here. Your name and age.
I'm Natalie. I'm 38.
Natalie, why did you end up popping your
Yo,
balloon?
Just physically, not mine.
this chick, she's not gonna match with anybody because she's just very, very picky. So I think she's there for clout. She's not really there to find somebody.
I type.
Okay. That's cool.
All right. And now is she someone that's your type?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You feeling me? She's mad. So I'm joking. I'm joking.
Thank you. Let's head on back. All right. Your name and age.
Janaea Moore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33.
Okay. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
So I popped it because you said divine feminine, and I'm more for like the fruits of the spirit. So I wasn't sure what you
That doesn't make any goddamn sense, man. Like, spirituality has nothing to do with whether you're feminine or masculine. He looked for feminine woman, not. He didn't say anything about spirituality.
meant by divine feminine. I mean, I could have asked, but
Yeah.
I was unsure about that. That sounded very like spiritual. And
Define feminine, if I can recall, means just traditional feminine or feminine. So I don't. Maybe she's confused.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
for Christ.
okay. So I'm Christian too.
Okay.
But I mean, like in terms of energy. So like I'm very masculine. I'm in my masculine energy, and I need the polarity. So I need the feminine energy.
Yes, that's what I was just saying. Like, it has nothing to do with religion or your background in whatever spirituality track you're talking about. But like, I think she just miscommunicated that.
So it's like the plus and the minus. And if you don't have that,
That's true.
that minus, then we're just gonna be two magnets not working.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah, she disqualified him for something else. It's not that. So she doesn't want to say what it is.
I mean, I agree. Can I ask questions? Like,
I mean, is he someone that's your type?
yeah, I think he's attractive, and I just have a lot more questions. I mean, like, how Christian are you?
Very Christian.
How Christian?
Very Christian.
Like, what does that mean?
Man, I talk to God every day. I do need to go to church, but I believe in the Most High.
Okay.
Read my Bible, pray every day. So yeah.
Okay. Why don't you go to church?
Okay. Is this leading to you getting your balloon back? Is it leading to you getting your balloon back?
He wants her balloon back because she just misunderstood what he meant by divine femininity. So, I don't think she's ever heard that word because it's just not used that much. Like, people are just now starting to do that because of this whole, just because of like what's circling around on the interweb. So like, women are starting to catch heat, man, for not being feminine. Like, and I don't think she understood what he meant by that. So,
Or are you just
Yes, I'll get it back. Yeah.
okay? Let's get the balloon back. There we go. Okay, we'll be back then.
yo, you just wasted 2 of my cents, man. Damn.
Let's head on back this way. Okay, so we still do have quite a lot of ladies with their balloon left.
He's very confident. He's standing there without his hands in his pocket. Like, he's very confident individual. So, if he's the girl, whoever just popped their balloon is popped it because probably she's disqualifying herself because she thinks he's gonna pop her balloon. So
Okay, let's go down over there. All right, your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name's Anita. I'm 37. I was trying to hear him out. I know you said you've been on the show before, and I don't know that I felt like a red flag, but I don't think there's like an attraction between us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, she's someone that's your.
I don't think it's a red flag because men and women date all the time. Like, they're not to say that they're asleep with each other, but they're dating multiple people all the time. So him going on a dating show more than once isn't a red flag. It just means that he picked, or a chick picked him. Well, I don't know if it's on the panel. I've never seen him before. Could have been a panel with many guys and one girl. But if he's on a panel with like as he is now, picking one girl, he might have picked the wrong girl because you only have so much information you can let go on these things. So it's not a red flag. It's only a red flag if he's just sleeping with a bunch of girls. That's all.
Type?
Yeah. She's my type. Definitely, I like her skin tone.
Oh,
I like dark skinned women. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? And I like the fact that you got braids. Like
It's a mohawk.
you embracing your yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked then. I didn't think you were attracted.
Why are you shocked?
I don't know. I didn't think I was his type.
I should think that, but
Yeah, nah, you very beautiful. I like your skin tone again, and you got gorgeous almond eyes, and yeah.
Oh my God, he's a smooth talk. He's smooth talker. Like, at first he wasn't talking real smooth, but like as far as giving ladies compliments, he's like good at that. So He's being honest too. I think she's not unattractive. She just needs to lose some weight. That's all.
Okay.
So are you still leaving your balloon unpopular? Is he someone that is your type?
He's attractive. I just didn't think I was his type.
Yeah, like I said before, she disqualified herself before he disqualified her. Like women do not like rejection. I said that. I said that before she said that. So
You eliminating yourself. You want the balloon back?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get that balloon back. There we go. Okay, we'll be back. Let's head on this way. All right, Josh, I'm gonna hand you a pick now.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have you pop. How many of them are there? Let's do it 2 balloons. I know, I'm
That's
sorry.
tough. Oh, you got beautiful.
They are beautiful, but you gotta pop 2.
Wow. How much?
he's gonna get that. I'm telling you, she never makes it through these rounds, man. They're always popping her balloon.
Sorry.
All right. So your name and age, and why was your balloon unpopped?
Sophia, 36. Very attractive, and I want to hear more about him.
And I saw it was really tough for you, Josh, but why'd you end up popping hers?
Just the dress, like before, I felt like it's a little bit too short.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, you got, nice smile.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So
Yeah, he's lying. It's not the dress. She just doesn't. She probably is dressed too provocatively, but like it's just the fact that she looks masculine. Like it's like man, they can't be honest, man. He doesn't want to hurt her feelings.
yeah.
And this is the difference between men and women, man. Like men, we already know that most women aren't attracted to us, so we know that we have a lot of work to do outside of our our physical attraction. So like women just aren't told the truth, man. Like, and this guy, if he does tell the truth, and he probably knows this, if he does tell the truth, like I find you unattractive, or like it's something about your, that's all he has to say, really. But like, it might offset the other women because he's too direct. So, they don't want. It's kind of a lose-lose situation. If you want to be honest or you want to lie. So you have to find a civil way to tell her that she's unattractive to you. So just be honest though. I'd be honest most of the times, because then you start to lie too much.
Thank you. Okay. We've got 5 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them a question.
All right.
Come back.
Sorry. What's something that you learned from your last relationship?
Okay. Name and age, and what's something you learned from your last relationship?
My name is Shahira. I'm 35, and I don't want to give the same answer that I gave last time, but I guess just be confident in who I am and my thoughts and my beliefs, and just lean more into confidence and less insecurities. So yeah.
He didn't phrase that question right. The other guy asked what they learned, what they did wrong, basically in their last relationship. He just asked, "What did you learn from your last relationship?" It's not really enough. I think he should have detailed that question a little bit more, because it's too much of a general, open-ended question. They can answer that question in so many different ways. He's not going to get too much out of that out of their answers. They could say anything they want because it's just not. It's not clear enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your name and age, and answer to this question.
Janaea Moore with 808 and Trinity. I'm 33 years old. I learned just to, I guess, not settle. So not allowing myself to overlook certain things that I need.
Good. Oh, I can't.
It's weird when you get to a certain age, you kind of have to settle. So like the fact that they're saying not settle, it's really gonna show. The older you get, the more you have to settle. I mean, we all have to settle at some point. So, but like the older you get as a woman, the more likely you're going to settle, because the highest value man isn't checking for older women. So, she's still fairly attractive, so she's still gonna get attention. It's just not gonna be from higher quality men that want younger women. So, she's gonna have to settle in some degree.
Ask.
You want to ask?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What are those needs?
I would say someone who can provide. It was some years ago. So I dated somebody like younger, and I was just like, someone who can provide. I need someone who can provide, and someone who can match me physically. And I mean, at that time, I was intimate. I'm not anymore. I'm waiting till marriage now. But at the time, he
Oh no, yeah, that's the one chick who had fun in her earlier years, and now she's making the guy that she wants to commit to long term. That's a provider. That's physically attracted equally to her. Like she wants somebody who's attractive and a provider, and she's gonna make him wait till marriage. Like that's very common, man. When women get older, it's crazy.
just didn't match me sexually, and I knew that even before we were intimate. So I should have just never done it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Your name and age and the answer to his question.
I am Jessica and I'm 36. I would say to receive grace and to give grace. I think when you're in a relationship with someone, they become the closest person to you. So they see intimate details that you don't allow other people to see. And so they can provide insight into who you are and also remind you to give grace to yourself and give grace to one another.
Okay.
Okay. Your name and age and the answer to his question.
I'm Liz. I'm 36. Before I answer, is my skirt too short? Because you popped up. I'm like,
Yeah, the difference is like you're more attractive than the other girl, so he's gonna let you get away with that. That's just how dudes do it. Like women do the same thing. Like women will say they don't like something about a man, but like if he has another attribute that she likes, it'll offset any flaws that he has. So
It is short, but I like your hair though. I like that you got your locks. So I don't know. You might.
yeah, see, like as a guy, man, you got to be congruent with your actions. Like if you make a decision on something, make sure you are consistent. He's not consistent about what he's communicating. So he's communicating that she's not dressed in the way that is conservative. Like she said, the other girl in the end that her dress is too short, but then her skirt is too short as well. So it kind of makes you very like they don't know what you want. They know that you're lying now. So that's basically what that is.
No,
all right. Okay. So something I learned in my last relationship is how important it is to like really stand on my boundaries and not self-sacrifice just to stay in the relationship. I feel like I did that a lot. So I wound up in relationships that weren't really the best for me because I was just, doing things to keep the relationship going instead of, staying true to myself. So sticking to my boundaries.
All right. Okay.
Your name and age and answer to his question.
My name is Anita. I'm 37. And what I learned from my last relationship is you can't love someone into loving you back, like sticking to who you are and what your boundaries are. So I just kind of find myself losing myself trying to make myself become this person for someone because I wanted to be loved the right way when I could have just walked away.
Okay. What's being loved the right way? Like, what's that for you? What's that look like?
Well,
Getting that dick. That's what it means.
when sometimes infidelity means that you're lacking something, so you're looking for that, right? And people make mistakes and everything like that because we're adults. But if it's constant, you're just holding on to me for something. You're not you don't want me. I might just fulfill a need for you selfishly. So you just keep me around, but that messes up me. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right. It is time to pop a balloon. Go ahead and pop one.
Okay.
He's gonna.
Man.
Who's gonna pop? He's gonna pop either hers or hers at the end.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. It's the hairstyle. I'm telling you, when you're late. Oh man. So I don't typically like to give advice, but like women, sometimes your foreheads look too big. As in this case. Oh my god. I don't know how to zoom in. I wish I could zoom in. need a touchscreen. But like, you don't want to show too much forehead, too much foresight. It just gives them too much foresight. That's all. If she would have wore bangs or her hair forward, she might have had a chance. Maybe she's too tall. I mean, he said he wants taller girls, but I mean, obviously he has to pop somebody's balloon. But everyone's wearing their hair forward, like they're not wearing a ponytail showing their forehead. So just don't show your forehead, man. You're showing too much. You're showing too much of your scalp. It makes you look a little more masculine. So you want to show as much femininity as you can.
All right. So why was your balloon unpopped?
I was very unsure, but he's nice looking. I like his hair. Got a nice face. You have a really intense glare. Like your eyes are really intense. But then you said you like roller coasters. So I was like, is he serious? Is he fun? Like it was confusing. So I'm glad you popped it. So
What was causing you to be unsure?
just he said the divine feminine, and then his eyes, and then that was it for me, really. Yeah.
Now she's someone that's your type.
It's a little too tall. And I like strong eye contact. I feel like the eyes are the window to the soul.
Exactly.
So
I agree.
I have nothing to hide. You know, I want you to look and see my eyes.
Yes, they're just super intense. I don't know if I like a soft gaze, but you're like, y'all can have that.
Thank you.
Okay. That's
All right,
crazy.
Josh, we've got 4 girls left. Go ahead and ask them another question. Sorry, 4 ladies.
Okay. Wow. What's the best advice someone's ever given you throughout the course of your whole life?
That's a good question.
Okay. What's the
So,
best advice?
When you ask that question, I would have phrased it. What's the best advice from a masculine male figure that you got in your life? Because then it would show if they had any kind of masculine presence in their life. So they could so that it wouldn't give them the option to say that it was a girlfriend giving them advice. So it's a good question, but I would have phrased it in that way.
Someone has given you.
The best advice, it's going to sound like the best advice comes from the Bible. That's just where the best advice comes from. And so anytime I open the book, I'm getting advice every single time. So I would say the Bible. I mean, if you want to know what it is, you want to know what?
Yeah, what's one from the Bible that you?
I would say it's seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. So if you seek God first, then God will direct your path.
All right.
Okay. What about over here?
I believe the question was the best piece of advice. It came from my dad. His motto is "Don't ask, just believe," and that's something that I've adapted to my entire life. I think it's important to have a strong belief in faith, and if you have a strong belief in faith, then you don't have to ask; you just have to believe.
Okay.
What about over here?
I don't know about that advice, but like to each his own.
Best advice.
I believe I'm going to find true happiness, and I'm going to die at 99 years old. I don't think it's going to happen, but I believe it will.
Liz, 36. My best advice is also from my dad. And this is going to sound cheesy, but it's be a leader, not a follower, which I learned it when I was young. But I do think it applies in adulthood too, with like so many people who like seek validation from others and things like that. So I've always like used it to just walk to the beat of my own drum. And yeah.
Okay.
And what about over here?
I'm not trying to be on trend here, but my best advice came from my stepdad. He's an amazing man of God, and he just explained to me the power of grace. In a generation where we're all lost and people feel like maybe they're not good enough to go to Christ or to come, and the people that are in the church are condemning and pushing them away. He expressed to me giving and getting grace, and how the grace of God is enough for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone just kind of changed my mindset. And I noticed that I kind of operated and feeling like I didn't have to fix it myself, but just to spend time with God, surrender what I do desire, and everything's fallen in place since.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta dwindle them down, so I'm gonna have you pop 2.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. Start the pop.
Okay, one more.
Uh-oh. he's so indecisive, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Let's come
yeah.
on over
She
here.
did it because she didn't want to get disqualified, man. They always do that right before. They don't want to be rejected. They want to do the rejecting.
Here first, the one you ended up popping. So why was your balloon unpopped?
Well, he's an attractive man. I like how you're well put together and you're asking good questions to get quality answers from us. So I like that you're being intentional and you weren't afraid to come a second time to find love.
Yeah.
Okay. And why'd you end up popping hers?
Just I think the attraction.
Cool.
You know, that was just that. But yeah.
All good.
Thank you.
Okay.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
I just thought it was right. I don't know. I just remember that. Are you 40?
I am.
I know. I just remember that you're a little bit older than what I prefer, but I was willing to hear you out and see. And yeah, there's not a lot. I think you're attractive and you have a good head on your shoulders.
Agency 35, like 40 is like a perfect age gap. And he doesn't look bad for his age either. So
yeah.
Our 2 ladies left. Any questions for him? Okay, she's ready.
So you said you work in the mental health field.
Mm-hmm.
she seems very excited. Like she gets very jittery every time the intention's on her. So I think she's not gonna pop her balloon until he says something that's disqualifying. So we're gonna find out.
So how does that work in a relationship? Like, how do you ensure that when you have conflict in a relationship, it's not like coming off like condescending or like, you know, everything? Like, what does that look like? I guess.
Okay. So I definitely do a lot of like self-reflection, right? To check on my, emotional state. So I think just me being self-aware, recognizing where I'm at. I do like to
Not to digress a little bit, but like that's a really good thing that he said, because when you do a lot of self-reflection, you start to see things from another perspective, like from the opposite perspective. Like how do you look in another person's eyes? So like if you can reflect on that, like I think that's a good exercise to do at least 5 times a week. I do it all the time actually. You don't want to do too much self-reflection. You start to get narcissistic traits doing that, but like you just want to take a look in the mirror once in a while to make sure you're okay. Make sure your emotional state is stable. Yeah, it's really good to reflect. So it's good that he's saying that.
I'm gonna be honest. I like my solitude at times, so I could like feel what I'm feeling and get connected to me, so that way it doesn't like radiate on someone else.
How is that communicated?
How is it communicating?
Yeah.
Well, I could communicate myself, and then after that, I could communicate with you. This is how I'm feeling.
No, like how would you communicate to your partner that you need space, or like what does that look like?
Yeah.
That is a weird question, because it should be an easy answer. But like, I just need to go to the gym. I need to go hang out with the boys. Like, it should be a really simple answer. Most guys are like that. Like, we do need our personal space once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just she probably has people in the past probably not communicate that in the best of ways. So I think that's why she's answering or asking that.
It looks like I need space.
See, it's hard to answer that because it should be obvious. Like, man, it should just like, man, I just need my space. Like, that's it. That's really all it is. I need alone time for an hour or so. Like, it's really not, it shouldn't be too hard to grasp that. So see, he couldn't communicate it. So she was looking for she's looking for a communicator. So if she can't, if the man that she's with can't communicate through words what he wants, she doesn't like that. So it's hard for men to do that, man, because sometimes we do it. We don't really communicate through words. Like we communicate through our actions. So
Why was that a pop?
I'm just like I kind of have like an anxious attachment style. I know that about myself, so I would need like someone who would over communicate, like, hey, I need a little space, and like just give me a little reassurance in those moments. And it sounds like you might kind of just do your own thing a little bit. Yeah, which is a little scary for me. But
Yeah, she wants somebody that asks for permission to do things. So like a lot of men that she probably dealt with just didn't communicate what they were going to do. They just did it. So she's probably dealt with a lot of guys that she wants somebody she could control. She wants to know exactly where you're at all times. So um it's gonna be hard for her to find somebody. So she's probably been cheated on a couple of times. So um that's just what I get from her.
other than that, you're very attractive. I loved everything you had to say, but yeah.
Okay. So now is she someone that is your type?
Yeah, she's my type.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she is.
Okay, let's go over here. Any questions over here? I have to. Okay, go for it.
Okay, so what exactly happened with the match from last time?
I told you at the beginning of the session, I was like, somebody's gonna ask him what happened. And it's just, man, somebody was gonna ask it. I knew it.
And
He doesn't want to say, man. It looks like, I don't know. I can't read his body language because it's an easy answer to say, hey, she didn't like me, but there would be a reason why the girl that he was with rejected her, or he doesn't want to say that they slept together and that was just a one night stand. So he can't be honest, and he can't lie because obviously the girl that he was with will probably say something. So he's afraid to be honest here.
Second question, so you can pick which one you want to answer first. When you do go into your I need space times, is it something that you do because you really just need space, or is it something that you do because, hey, you don't like what I said and you're going, oh, I'm going to put her in timeout. I need space.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. So if I need space, it's like I'm gonna communicate. I need space. The anxious attachment style, I'm kind of glad that you said that, because I think that's something that we all have to work on ourselves, but that's something that I can't do. I feel smothered.
Okay.
So I want to know from anybody in the anybody who's watching this video, whether it is live or on the playback, at what point as a man do you stop working on yourself? Because that excuse gets old the older you get. So like if you're 25 and you're in a dating market and you're saying, oh, I'm working on myself, that's fine. But like when you're 35 and up, that has to change. Is I'm building upon something I have already worked on. So if you're past the age of 35 and you're saying you're working on yourself, that is I would say that's a red flag. Either he's just saying that to parrot things that he've already said in the past, or he thinks that it sounds good. But when you're 40 years old and you're saying, oh, I'm working on myself, like you should have already done the work. You should be capitalizing on the things that you've already worked on. So I just recently stopped saying that. You're not going to hear me say anything about I'm working on myself. I'm going to be saying I'm capitalizing on the gains that I've already made. So right now I'm building more towards a foundation to where I'm building, or I want to build a gym. I want to have a home. I already have the means to buy a home. I'm just afraid to let the money go. It's really not to brag, but like this is like it's scary. Like because you ever save up for like something that you want, and now you got the money. It took you so long to build it up, and now it can be gone in just a split second because you saved up for something you really wanted. I'm at that point right now. I just don't want it. I want double the amount of money that I have before I get a home. So that's kind of my thinking. So not to digress from the digression, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, I just want to know if people are saying that still. Like, are you past the age of 35 and you're still working on yourself, or are you working? Are you are you are you building on something you've already worked on? So I mean, it's just something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I'll communicate. So
Was that the issue from the other?
I prefer. So what happened previously in the previous relationships?
You don't
She's
wanna
not
talk about
here
it, okay.
to defend herself, so
Okay.
I don't want to say anything.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Do you have kids?
no kids.
Do you want kids?
I do.
And like, what do you see yourself in the next 2 years?
Married with at least one child.
Okay, well, let me bring you on up here with us. Let's all come up here. Come on up, y'all. All right, so she asked quite a few questions. Joss, do you have any? If you don't have any,
no
that's
question.
fine. No
They look like a decent fit, man. As long as he's honest about his intentions, and she's already been honest. She wants kids. She wants a family. So I forgot how old she was. She's got to be in her late 30s because most of them ladies are in their mid to late 30s. So she's running out of time. She's probably gonna only be able to have one child.
questions? No,
No questions.
Okay, well then, is it a yes for you for him?
Yes.
And is it a yes for you for her?
Yes.
We got a match! I'll take this mic.
Yo, this shit gets me every time. Man. Y'all get excited, man. Like you don't know if that's gonna work, man. People match all the time and they fucking break up the next day. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man?
And you guys can go on off, get your girl. Let's make some noise for them. Woo!
Yo, I hope that works out though, man. Like she was looking for somebody to make babies with. Yo, man.
All right.
Oh, this the masculine chick on the right on the end, and the girl on the blonde, like the blonde girl. Yo, she need to go in the bathroom and put some clothes on, man. Like you guys are gonna get matched.
Bring out our next single guy.
Hold up, man. I need to deviate. I need to move on to the next because I want to watch the Cavs game. If people don't know, I am from Cleveland, so I want to see how this first game looks. You know, the Cavs just spanked them during the regular season, but this is the playoffs, and Tyrese Halliburton is giving me some butterflies, man. No homo, but I want to see how this matchup goes. So I'm going to deviate from this video to Myron Gaines. I don't know if anybody has seen this clip. I caught it. Like, man, this guy was on Twitter, on X, doing a stream with a panel, and I was just going to work. I was like, man, this guy streams all day long, and I could do that if it was a full-time job of mine. I think I could stream all day. Obviously I can't because of my work, but I'm gonna react to a video that he was in, and I got some pretty interesting thoughts on this. So I want to see if anybody has watched this. I'm pretty sure it does, man. It's got over 100K views. So, and here we go.
What do you say about the chat saying that you can't pull a black woman?
I would say, why would I? You could have them, bro. They'll sit there and they'll say, oh, you can't handle me. And I'll say, why the should I? We tell women that they can kind of live their life the way that they want, and there's going to be a good man at the end waiting for them. We have an entire society that tells women, hey, don't do anything for the express consent for a man. You need to put yourself first, not knowing that if you actually want to keep a guy first, you actually have to put yourself second. This is why I tell guys all the time, you got to be the leader, and the girl's got to like you more than you like her. Because since women are the ones used to being pursued, the only time they're going to respect the man is when they're finally pursuing, because they never do that.
Do you think that it's best that guys get burned early? Because it seems like once guys get resources and get money, that it really becomes an issue.
Yeah,
sure
I think early. Once you get money and resources, then she's playing for keeps. Like this girl right now going after Shannon Sharp, she's playing for keeps. So it's like, and they have an incentive to do so. When you're broke and you're a nobody, like, are they incentivized to go after you as hard? Probably not. Then maybe they'll embarrass you in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, weirdo, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. You can move and be fine. But when you got some money and your resources, and this is why it's so bad for young guys. Oh, dude. The young guys that like aren't red pill aware and get some money and status, they get cooked the worst. It's better for you to almost like be broke, make these mistakes as you're coming up, then get the money, understand women, and then you're in a much better position because then you can mitigate the risk, or you already know how to deal with certain women off of how they come at you. You're like, oh yeah.
Yo, he's not wrong, man. The mistakes I've made with women in my younger days, if I had money, dude, I would have been destroyed. I would have got destroyed. This is I completely agree with that because if a man gets some experience, makes his money later in his age, and then understands women at the same time, he can move smoother. He can make the right decisions. He can vet the women properly, and not be in a rush to put a ring on the finger. You got to protect your time, attention, and resources. So, but yeah.
This girl's a thought. I got to deal with her this way. Okay, this girl, I could maybe let her in a little bit. But like you get that wisdom from failing. You almost got to fail when you're broke because you kind of see how you.
Look at this guy raising his hand like, man, what's he got to say, man? This is funny, dude.
You see the real side of females. Like when you don't have all your stuff together, you don't have money like that yet. You really get to see like the dark side of hypergamy. And I think men need to be exposed to that to see how callous and how cold women can really be when they're not interested in you. Because I truly think like women are much more cold-blooded than men are, way more, especially when they're not interested.
So I'm paying attention to the women here. So we're gonna wait to I'm gonna give my perspective on this, but like the women, they're taking in what he's saying. So a lot of times women will interject and disagree with what he's saying, but it looks like they're just listening. Either they have heard this before from him or they agree with him. So they don't look like they disagree.
Interest in men drop off precipitously.
Oh, she smiled a little bit. So it's probably an affirmation.
Faster. They're more likely to end relationships. They're more likely to break your heart without you even knowing about it because they broke up with you 6 months. They've already been plotting to break up. So like with women, I think men need to experience that because this kind of insulates you from making those mistakes later on when it's going to cost you significantly more money.
What do you say about the chat saying that you can't pull a black woman?
I would say, why would I?
Yo, look at this guy. Yo, look at him, man. He got his eyes wide open,
bro.
Why wouldn't you?
They could have them, man. I'm not competing for LaQuisha. You guys can have her, man.
Well, every black woman
ain't said LaQuisha. What the hell?
LaQuisha? What you mean?
Look, I say that's look, I'm fucking around. But when they say dumb shit like that, or you can't pull a black woman, like that's just like cope a lot of the times because they're saying what that really. Let me decode the stupidity for you. When people say dumb shit like that, translation, you're not willing to tolerate the bad behavior that naturally comes with a lot of black women. Because let's be honest, let's deal with the stereotypes here, right? I'm an open racist towards everybody. Let's deal with the black stereotypes. Black women are fat, loud, crass, annoying, have attitudes, and they don't respect male authority. There's a bunch of reasons for this, but I'll go over simply. The average black woman weighs 187 pounds. A lot of them grow up in a single mother household where they're told every single day, niggas ain't shit. There is no patriarch in the family a lot of the times. This is just what goes on.
That's facts.
And then when you listen to the rap music, what are they saying? Fuck niggas, get money.
Yo, this guy over here, he looks annoyed with what he's saying. So it looks like everybody else has heard this perspective before. So they're not really surprised that he's saying this. Either they are in agreement with him or they have heard this standpoint before. So it's I mean, he's not wrong. He's saying it in a way that's very direct. This is why a lot of people hate Andrew Tate, is because he was direct. Obviously he's saying a lot of things for shock value, but actually this is Myron. So he's being like, you can ask him 1,000 times, he's going to say the same thing because that's exactly what he knows it's to be true. So the truth only comes in one form. You can't, like, lies come in many different forms because you have to keep making it up as you go. You can't remember your lies. You can only remember the truth.
Money, blah, blah, blah. It's just shitting on black men all day. And then the black men that are in their life a lot of the times, not every single time, but a lot of the times, they're criminals, they're fathers that weren't there, they're crooks, and it's just like a never-ending cycle where there's no real patriarch in the household. And then on top of that, you know,
it's a cycle too, man. Like the women that grow up in some of these households, they end up dating the same types of men that their fathers were. So it's a cycle, and I don't know what we need to do to break it up. I mean, you can get, like, a solution would be like a high value men just wifing up some of these ratchet chicks, but that's not going to happen because the ratchet chicks is just going to destroy their lives anyway. So it's like the cycle has to be broken within. Like, niggas need to stop being niggas. That's all it is, man.
A lot of black women grow up without men in the house, they end up becoming extremely masculine. Now, this is fantastic when it comes to survival, getting a job, making your way through life, but this is terrible when it comes to attracting masculine men. Masculine men don't want masculine women in return. That would make you probably more than likely gay if you're attracted to yourself, right? And I always use the analogy.
That's your lane, Molly.
That's funny as fuck, though.
Here's the thing with black women, right? They'll sit there and they'll say, oh, you can't handle me. And I'll say, why the fuck should I? Because let me tell you this. If you went up to a black woman and you said, hey, look, I like to wear heels on Saturdays, she'll be like, ew, what the fuck? She'd curve you. Rightfully so. That's weird. But why is it that we're supposed to accept masculine black women when they would never accept feminine black men. They never would. So why the hell should I accept a woman that behaves like a man when she would never accept me for behaving like a woman? And this is the insane double standard where they'll sit there and say, you need to accept me the way that I come, but women never accept us the way that we come. We have to self-improve. Why don't they have to self-improve? So when they say dumb shit like that, saying, oh, you can't handle a black woman, or why don't you date them?
It's weird because there's a whole lot of self-improvement books, a lot of self-help or self-improvement channels out there, social media for men. And those channels are doing well. Like a lot of men are trying to figure out how to get better, not only for women but for themselves. And you just don't see that. You don't see that type of growth in the female space because they're getting men whether they perform or not. And when I say perform, I'm just saying like be wifey. Do you want to adopt the habits of a wife before you become a wife. You don't want to wait till you get the ring to become a wife. That just doesn't make any sense. Like if you're a professional athlete, you don't become great after they select you. No, you're great before they select you. So I think a lot of people are confused about like mate choice in the in the dating sexual market. People think they're good enough as is, which could be the case sometimes, but like we all have growing to do even in a relationship. So like I said, self-improvement just doesn't it just like people that are overweight, man, like or like don't have their money together, and I'm talking about men. Like you could be better, but they wait till they find somebody to be better. Like it shouldn't work that way. I mean, it doesn't work that way because you're not being selected at the first place. You got to get in the door somehow. So
what that really means is, why are you not dealing with the stereotypical, loud, obnoxious, crass, rude black woman? And I'm saying no, because I don't want to date myself. So if I've dated black women before that are polite, feminine, not fat, respectful, speak proper English, they say ask instead of acts, like all these things. And that's what I like. So
yo, that kills me. Like, yo, they get it, man. They probably both say ask, acts. Like, I don't know, man. I have to speak proper English. Like, I don't know, man. Like the first time I spoke, like when I was in the military at 18 years old, man, somebody thought I was thought I was white instead of like black. I was like, well, I'm not fully black, so I'm not gonna talk like a nigger, but a nigga. I am half black, so but like I said something and they thought I was white. I was like, well, I don't know, man. That's like how am I supposed I'm supposed to be proper, so you don't get a good high paying job acting like a gangster. Um, I mean, I've got some good jobs in my time, and it wasn't because I was out here doing nigga shit. So, um, I don't know, man. Like, you can get far ahead in life with your speech if you just speak proper English. You can get really far ahead in life, man. You don't have to be cool like Tupac. You don't have to. You don't have to be. You don't have to be too slang. You don't have to speak Ebonics um to get people to like you, man. You can speak proper English and still be liked by people. Still be hired by organizations with high pay and stuff. So I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's a culture issue.
If I'm going to be around that, great. I don't really care about skin color like that. I have a preference. It just so happens that a lot of the times black women don't adhere to these preferences because they're indoctrinated to have this mindset of, let me challenge a man. Let me be rambunctious. Let me go ahead and chase a career and basically be the man that I want to get. And I'm not with that.
That's fair.
How do you feel about that, Kim?
Man, he wants to ask. So he's trying to get female affirmation. So this is why I was watching this. So I was surprised like the guys here aren't like white knighting, but like it just shows what type of dude you are when you're white knighting all the time. So shout out to the guys for not like trying to defend my lady's honor. So like he's speaking facts. So like I mean,
agree with a lot of what he said. I've said before, I don't think that just in general, we'll even speak on black women because that's who he's talking about. I don't think that black women are taught to be wives. Whereas, this black woman, if she's going to college to get her degree, these white girls were taught to be wives. They were taught to look for a man to take care of them. They were taught to look for husbands. They're going to college to look for a husband. They're going to be more submissive. They're going to be more passive because they're playing the long game.
And you want to hear something crazy too? you know, it's funny. The white girls be the biggest hoes. I'd be warning people with these college educated white girls. Like if they join a sorority and shit like that, I tell guys all the time, like, bro, you know, you also don't want to wife up a horse.
Yo, college, man, they be the worst, man. Like, yo, you really have to defend your the perception that you give out when you enter these fields or these certain habits that women do. Like, one perception that is a clear red flag is like just shaking your ass on social media. Uh, like what kind of attention you're grabbing from men. You're not getting attention from material men. You're getting attention from men that just want to sleep with you for one night. So if you're going to dress in a way that you're showing a lot of skin, it's just a perception, man. It doesn't mean you're sleeping around. It's the perception that you give out because women that typically show that much skin are sleeping around. So um, I think a lot of women who are not really giving it out like that probably do a lot of things that women are, and they don't know it. So
Like, you know, winds up happening a lot of times with black women because black women are very narrow in what they like a lot of times. They prefer black men overwhelmingly. But the problem on the black male side is black men will take whatever, right? So that's kind of the issue where you run into a problem with a lot of black women. Also, black women tend to favor looks a lot more than other races, which is, I guess, maybe a masculine trait. But black women tend to be more interested in the way that they dress, the way they conduct themselves, you know, the way they look, etc. Like it's very interesting how I've noticed that with black women, they tend to be the race that is very interested in the way a man looks, which is fine. You can have your preferences. But what the problem with that is it dilutes your marketplace of men that you are going to open yourself up to. And when black women go to college and they educate themselves, etc., they kind of bring that percentage down even more so as they climb up the ranks. But like with white girls, you know, you're right. They go to college. They're looking for a husband while they're there in school a lot of times because a lot of times they don't even want to work their shitty ass, you know, HR job that they end up getting. But they end up being hoes a lot of the times, if we're going to be honest. So that's another thing that I tell guys to watch out for when it comes to the white girls, because every every group of women has their stereotypes that guys got to look out for.
Carrie, what do you think? Carrie, what do you think about the narrative between black, white cultural norms, black women not necessarily being taught to look for husbands, all of that type of stuff? What do you think about everything that's being communicated in a general sense?
I agree with a lot of what he just said. I don't know if it's that women are not necessarily being taught to be wives per se, as much as taught to be wives that men want, because everybody is not taught to go be an independent woman void of a man. Like some women are genuinely taught to go marry, but they're also taught to have a career at the same time. They're taught to have kids, but they're taught to go get.
yeah, and you gotta look on both sides, man. I understand what Myron and a lot of people in this space are talking about. Like, you want to go out and look for a husband. Like, as soon as you turn 18, look for a husband. Like, it's really difficult to do that because when you're that young, between 18 and 21, 20, 22, 23, you're not really checking for men that have their shit together at that age range, because they don't typically, unless they're like some kind of high-end celebrity or athlete or something. They're not going to wife you up. They're just going to sleep with you. So the people that got their shit together are in their mid 30s, and they're not checking for those guys at that age range. So it's going to be very difficult to find a husband material man, because now she has to look for traits that show ambition, that have a plan, and men clearly just don't have a clear path of what they're going to do between the ages of 18 to 25. They're still trying to figure it out. And how are you going to figure it out when you have an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old that you're dating? You're not going to figure it out with her alongside with you. It just doesn't happen. It does happen. It's rare though. It's very rare. You're going to, because what tends to happen is like women will get with somebody their age range. Either they'll marry them or they'll get in a long-term relationship with them. They're waiting for it to turn into marriage. They may have a kid or two with them, but at the same time, this guy's not leveling up. He's staying the same, kind of like what Bitcoin's been doing the last 2 or 3 months. It's just been like up and down, not really going all the way up to where she thinks he has potential. So when he doesn't reach his potential at a certain time, because he's on the clock, she breaks up with him. And guess what happens? He levels up afterwards. It happens. It happens constantly. It happens very often amongst men because men don't see their prime. They don't see their potential until their mid to late 30s because it takes time for them to build what they're building. It takes time to gather experience. So it's really hard for a woman to find that early in age. So what is she supposed to do? Is she supposed to stay celibate? Is she not supposed to make any money? So I see what the women are dealing with. But at the same time, women need to understand that men do not see their potential until they're mid to late 30s. So it's just unfortunately it's a fact because let's say in my case right now, truck driving changed my life. Gave me the money that I needed to pay the bills with. I'm making a lot more money than I was in my 20s. But let's just say I got into trucking in my early 20s. I don't have the experience to deal with the how to invest the money or how to properly manage the money. I would blow the money every week that I made on dumb shit. Exactly what I did when I was in the Navy. I blew my money on stupid shit. So it's the experience, it's the time and experience. It's not just the money, it's the time and experience it takes so that you understand what to do with the money. And then it's the same thing with women. You got to have time and experience with women so you can lead a family and children. So for men, it takes time.
And education. So they're not taught to not be a wife, but they're also not necessarily taught to prioritize being a wife. They're not necessarily taught the characteristics that a husband that they want would actually be looking for.
So
because everybody doesn't come from a broken home either. I mean, I know a lot, we say that a lot, and I'm not downing the numbers on it, but everybody doesn't come from a broken home. A lot of people have a 2-parent example, but they might not necessarily know how to be the wife that
I
they
would
want
say
the husband
it's not
for.
just a black issue. It's a whole U.S. issue. The nuclear family has been destroyed, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. You know, feminism, etc., has been, I think, one of the biggest problems when it comes to degradation of the nuclear family. But what I will say is, because you mentioned a good point that women, like, you know, they're told to go to school and pursue. And I would say, right, if someone wanted to lose weight, right, and they truly wanted to change their body, they would have to change everything about their lifestyle. They'd have to start going to sleep 8 to 10 hours a night. They'd have to prioritize going to the gym. They would have to change their entire lifestyle around to be able to achieve that goal.
Okay, I'm going to digress a little bit from here because what he's saying is fact. So I made a stream at the start of the year talking about New Year's revolution is bullshit because people start a New Year's resolution without changing their habits. So let's just say if they decide they woke up one day they want to lose weight, what are you going to do, sir? Like, you have to change your habits in order to keep that weight off because you could lose that weight in like 2 months, but like you haven't really you haven't trained the new habits it takes to keep the weight off. So you're just going to go back on bad habits and gain the weight back because you eat too much. So he's right about that. It's the same thing in the dating market. So let's say you get into a relationship, it doesn't work out. You got to take some accountability. What did you do to cater to that breakup? Was it your fault? Was it mostly his fault? So it could have been a lot of different things. It could have been your choice of mate, or it could have been just your eating habits. It could have been your sleeping habits. Could have been anything. So you have to change something to find a better, long-lasting relationship. So got to change your habits. If something's not working, change your habits. That's all it is.
Here's the problem. We tell women that they can kind of live their life the way that they want, and there's going to be a good man at the end waiting for them. And the problem is, if you want a guy to take care of you, well, then you need to be in a position where you're prioritizing finding that guy. Because the days of, and this is kind of the conundrum of feminism, right? So what feminism effectively did was it gave women the autonomy to pursue a career, make their own money, and become successful and be on their own. But what that also did was it ostracizes the average man from the dating and relationship marketplace, because women will never admit this, but I'll say it for you guys. There's nothing worse for a woman than settling on a guy that she feels that she could do better than, right? And what ends up happening is, with a lot of average men, 5'8", making 30 to 50K per year, a lot of women see better than that in America. Even average looking women feel that they could do better than that, right? There's nothing worse than an average guy to a majority of women. So what women do is they'll go to school, they'll pursue an education, they'll become successful.
If you're like 35 and above and you're still you're doing this 50-50 shit with women, man, you definitely have to take some authority and level up in a way that you don't have to rely on a woman's resources. Like, I keep telling this to people over and over, like, women really do expect you to have your shit together when you get to a certain age. So that 50-50 shit stops typically when a man turns like 30 and stuff, unless he's dating somebody like a woman that doesn't have many options left. So so I think men need to understand that. Women need to understand it too. Like, it's usually a red flag if a man wants you to provide, or it's probably has a necessity for your resources, because now you got to work as hard as he does. So like, it's kind of it's hard to be in a relationship when you're doing that.
Successful, and what they're hoping is that there's going to be a guy more successful, more attractive, more ambitious than her at the end of that road. But what she's effectively done, because she's become average herself or better than average, is she's just now ostracized a majority of men that would have been a great candidate for her before. But feminism has made it where women are told not to settle, become independent. But you got to ask yourself, who are they independent of? They're independent of men. We don't walk around and say, oh, we're strong and independent. You guys will laugh at us. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? But we run around and we praise women for being independent all the time. But we don't ask ourselves, independent of who? It's of men. Of which men in particular? The majority, aka the average man.
I'm going to start walking around and saying, I'm an independent man. I'm going to get some funny ass looks. I'm about to start doing it though. I'm independent as motherfucker, man.
Women are chasing the same small 10 percentile of guy. 6'4" plus, 100K per year, good career, charming, love dogs, asshole, but at the same time, a nice guy. Like, they're looking for something that's very.
I like that they're listening to him. Like, people aren't interrupting him now. He's just listening. Like, he's got his hands crossed. I don't know what she's doing. She's probably texting or something. But like, a lot of people just can't. They have a hard time listening to people. But he's speaking facts, man. Like, nobody's really interrupting him. Like, they just let him cook, man.
Very difficult to find in one guy. So when you made the topic like, hey, women are told to go, get their money, but at the same time also kind of be a wife. The problem is that for the caliber of guy that they're looking for, right? Ironically enough, they need to prioritize finding a husband. But the problem is that they're pursuing a career so much that they don't have the time and a lot of the times interest to even pursue this guy. Like, and this is another controversial take, and I'll say this real quick, and I'd love to get the ladies' take on this. I say all the time, women lack empathy. Okay, they have sympathy, but they don't have empathy. And I'll explain what I mean by this. So men, we understand innately that we need to go out there and improve ourselves, make money, get some status, etc., so that we could be a catch. We understand that we're a bum working at McDonald's. We ain't getting no bitches. We accept this reality. Women, though, however, I notice don't understand this. I'll give you an example. A girl will open up an Instagram, have pictures of herself all over the internet being a thought. She'll go.
The men at McDonald's ain't get no bitches unless they're like physically jacked, like physically attractive. But like, no woman is really checking for you if you're not attractive working at McDonald's. So like we always say, man, where you lack in one area, you gain in another. But at the same time, when you get to a certain age, man, you got to have it all, like money, fitness, and social awareness. If you're not socially calibrated, competent, like, women just are going to be turned off, whether you're attractive or you have your money together. So at a certain age, like when you're younger, they usually don't care as long as you're physically attractive.
Pursue a career. She'll do a bunch of twerking stuff on the internet. She'll wear weird weaves. She'll do all this kind of crazy stuff, right? And what'll happen is she'll do all this not knowing that, like, men, though they might look at you from an attraction standpoint, they're not actually wanting to take you seriously. And this is what I mean when I say women lack empathy. They kind of know what men like, but they don't know what men are actually attracted to and want to commit to. And that's where the disconnect happens. So what ends up happening is they get with a guy, they know how to kind of get the guy just by existing, but it's very difficult for them to keep the guy. And this comes from this lack of training where women are prioritizing career and not necessarily not just attracting the guy, but keeping him long term. And this is where so many women fail, because any girl can get a guy. That's not the hard part. The hard part is, can you get a guy that you actually like and get him to commit to you? And this is where women fail because they lack empathy. And what I mean by empathy is they don't understand men. We have to understand women to attract them. Women don't have to understand us to attract us, because all y'all got to do is be available, look kind of hot, and we'll come talk to you. Like, and we have to do all the work in the beginning. Well, but where women fail is they don't do the work after the guy puts in the work to attract her to retain that guy. That's where a lot of women make the mistake and aren't really able to keep the things. And this is why I'm saying, like, the education system and us women prioritizing their.
Yo, men get that too, man. It's funny because like if you're like somebody like who's jacked, who has money together, but just doesn't have any competency skill, like he's just like completely unaware of like his surroundings. He's like kind of like a dud. Like women will sleep with him, but they won't commit to him. Men get it too, man. It's crazy. And a lot of men don't understand because they're just so used to getting female attention. They don't really have to do any work on their social continuity. So uh, it's rare. It's not it's very common with women, but it's rare with men. But it still happens. Like you're not going to see. Kind of like the opposite would be like a man dating a woman because of her finances. So if a woman makes significantly more money than a man, it happens, but it doesn't happen a lot because usually women want their man to make more money than them because it's more of a leadership quality. So if a woman is telling you how to control your money, how to control the spending, it kind of emasculates the man, makes him seem like a pussy. So it's just not going to work most of the time.
Success has overrode their ability to retain men, if that makes sense.
What do you think about that, Mika and Molly?
Oh no, he's 100% correct. I mean, that's exactly what my father always taught me. So he's absolutely correct. And then, the women, anytime, and we've talked about this tons of times on this panel, anytime the women are, in a belief mindset that
This is a very intelligent panel, man. Like they understand the social implications of modern society when it comes to dating. So they get it. And I think it's good that we start having these conversations, man. We need to start listening to the opposite gender. And we need to listen to everybody, like the hoes and the conservatives, because each class of people want different things. The women that sleep around they just want to sleep around. Like when people like to have sex. So we can't fault them for that. It's the problem is that they want commitment from people that aren't going to give them commitment. So yeah, that's everybody's confused because everybody's doing things that they're saying one thing and doing another. So I think this panel is pretty intelligent. They're listening to each other, and Myron's speaking facts. So
they'll call it pick me, they'll call it you're trying to, follow the man and everything. And if you say yes, because that's literally what I was taught, then it's, okay, well, it's always something bad. It's always something downtrodden. And he's gonna leave. What if he leaves? What if he does this? What if he does that? It's never looking at it from the standpoint of trying to have a family unit. Everything is a risk, right? But it seems like in today's society with feminism, if you prioritize this, then if this happens, at least you have a job, at least you have a degree, at least you have, money. It's not prioritized as it may be a risk, but at the end of the day, you may have a family.
And here's the other thing too, I really want to bring to light what you just said, because what you just said is extremely important with the concept of calling women pick-me's, right? This is a very pernicious cycle that I've noticed in modern women where they'll see women doing what's required to actually.
Being a pick-me is good, and they will shame you for something. So being a pick-me is the same thing as a man wanting a traditional household. So people like me kind of get shamed for wanting a woman to stay at home because I want to bring in the money. And like men like that will get shamed. And it's the same thing with pick me. Like women want to be provided for, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, most women don't want to work. There's a difference between not wanting to work and being lazy, and not wanting work to be traditional and being an asset to your man. So if you don't, So if you're not working, you have to be an asset to your man. You can't be like a liability. So that's the difference between a gold digger and a traditional housewife or stay-at-home mother or whatever.
To attract a man, like whether it's being super submissive, being super nice, listening to their man, dressing the way that their man wants, cooking for him or whatever. They're doing these like traditional roles. And I don't know what it is, but like women look at this and it's like their knee-jerk to reaction to say, oh, you're a pick-me. Oh, you're being caved in by your man. Like this girl right now is literally going viral. Emily Saves America. She's supposed to be a conservative. And she talks about, hey, well, you should probably still get a job. You should still get a hobby, blah, blah, blah. And that goes against conservatism. And that's why I say a lot of these women that are conservatives are really undercover feminists.
Oh man, you best believe like I'm gonna make sure she has a hobby. Like that's on the man too. Like if you pick a girl that doesn't have any hobbies and you're trying to provide for her, like she's gonna take advantage of that. She's going to finesse the shit out of you. So make sure she's 100% incongruent with your mission, and she has genuine burning desire for you. Otherwise, she's just gonna take your money and leave. She's gonna extract resources from you until you actually realize that she is, and then that's usually when it breaks up. So I always make sure they have hobbies, something that they like to do that they could do that they could possibly monetize from it. But yeah, it's common sense, man. But it's not really common because they're not told. Like people are not told to be traditional these days. So it kind of sucks because that's where the family unit strives.
What they're doing is they're teaching women this pernicious cycle you just mentioned with this whole don't be a pick-me or whatever, because we have an entire society that tells women, hey, don't do anything for the express consent for a man. You need to put yourself first, not knowing that if you actually want to keep a guy first, you actually have to put yourself second. Your job is the aid, the assistant, the helpmate, because when a man is put forward, when we win, you win by extension. But if we put the woman forward and the woman wins, what ends up happening is the woman's like, I don't need this nigga. Like, his job is to provide for me. I'm the one providing. This is why I tell guys all the time, you got to be the leader and the girl's got to like you more than you like her. Because since women are the ones used to being pursued, the only time they're going to respect the man is when they're finally pursuing, because they never do that. So that's how they're able to distinguish, do I got a winner or a loser? Am I following him or is he following me? Because this whole like, I'm going to build my wife up, I'm going to move for her and her career. I tell guys never do that, because when you do that, what you've inadvertently done is you've given her the frame and the leadership role in the relationship. And though women will sit there and say, I want to be equal partner, what I've realized is their actions never actually reflect that. They want you to be the leader. They want you to dictate the terms. And the biggest way for that to happen is by her kind of submitting to and having this pick-me thing that a lot of women use. But whenever I see women say, put it this way, ladies, if girls are calling you a pick-me, you're doing something very right. Do not listen to the feminist propaganda that tries to almost like, you know, when men insult each other and emasculate each other, like when we tell each other that, oh, you're a pick-me or you're an idiot for following a man or you're stupid or you could do better. That's all shaming language to keep you from having a man. One of the biggest things, and I'll end with this. This guy, the Truth Desire, something like that. He interviewed a divorce attorney is the main bottom line here. And he asked the divorce attorney, she's a female divorce attorney, hey, who initiates most of the divorces and why? And she said something that I've been saying for years. And I thought it was awesome because it finally vindicated me. She said the women initiate the divorces, and a big reason why they do it is because they get talking to their girlfriends, and their girlfriends put shit in their ear. And it's back to that cycle you just mentioned with pick me, you do everything for him, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And women will see other girls happy with a guy in a good relationship, and they'll try to ruin that and be like, why are you with him? You can do better. Oh, he has him. Oh, look, he's controlling. He's XYZ. When in reality, he's everything that she wants.
That's weird, man. When I see people in happy relationships, man, I'd be like, good on you, man. Like I like to see people in happy relationships.
But since they're not happy and they don't got what they want, because it's so much harder to find a mate for women, they'll sit there and try to tear her shit down. And that's like one of the, I tell girls, if you have a relationship, get rid of all your single friends. They're going to lead you astray.
Yo, man, that was crazy. Oh, man. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. I'm running out of time. I'm going to try and react to a little bit more of the Pearl versus the Dr. Feminist. But yeah, that was I wanted to share that because I thought he was just it's very rare to see Myron hold a rant without people like interrupting him, like because he said some controversial stuff, like there are people that disagree with him on, and it's weird because he's speaking based on what is actually happening, not based on what he it's not just from his experience. It's literally just happening out there. Like, so to disagree with that is just blasphemy. I'm going to look for this video that I was watching. Oh, make sure you guys like the video. God damn it. Like, they're not really pushing my videos on YouTube. Oh, Rolo Tomasi is doing a stream right now. I'm going to do a martial arts related video later on. It's actually going to be a funny one. Like, so if anybody is like new to my channel, I do very serious content when it comes to martial arts. So I think I would like to know if people want me to do some funny stuff. But I'm gonna react to some funny martial arts stuff. Oh my god, why is it so close to my face? God damn it. I want you to see my face. Not too far. Sorry about that. There's a little bit of autism there. I'm trying to look for this freaking video. So I should have had this queued up. My bad. But anyway, what I was saying is, so let me know, because I can do funny skits. I could do funny things involving martial arts. But I want people to take me serious when I do it, because it's more for fitness, and like people just shit on people that do martial arts a lot of times. So if I have to do some funny stuff, I'll do it once in a while. But I do got some funny videos involving martial arts to react to later on. So like I said, I want to watch this Cavs matchup. So I plan on going live after the Cavs game. I might catch the game 7 with the Rockets and Golden State, but I'm going to do a stream probably before then. Just depends on how the Cavs game goes. So if it's a blowout, then I'll probably start the stream earlier. But right when the game ends, if it's close, I'm going to start a stream after that and do martial arts. So I think you're going to want to see this. I got some funny shit to react to. So I'm going to react to I'm going to finish off, or at least crap. So where did I start off? 28. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with the video that Pearl did with the feminist doctor. So let's get into it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh,
crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. And you can
In
call
my
me a dreamer.
experience, they're the ones who do not.
I mean, historically, you're wrong.
I don't think so.
Martin Luther King had a dream, didn't he?
Okay, but how many guys tried to be Martin Luther King and failed? I'm not
Right.
saying there
And
aren't people,
that's a
but
societal issue because we resist progression, and you're one of the people who is allowing society to resist progression instead of allowing progression to happen.
how am
Instead
I
of,
allowing society to? What does that even mean?
yeah, so you
Okay, no, go ahead. Go ahead. It's fine.
yeah, because you say, I see the reality right now and I report on the reality right now. And when I say, yeah, we should recognize what's happening now and improve on it, you say, oh, men are dying in the workplace. And I'm like, okay, let's address that. Let's see why they're doing that. Let's see how we can improve on that. And then you're like, yeah, that's not realistic. I live in reality.
I'm gonna speed
Where
this
you
up a
see
little
how
bit.
I am advocating for progression. I'm advocating for improvement. Where you're just like, yeah, you know what? That's not the world we live in. And I don't have any idea or any desire to improve on the shitty statistics that I constantly report on.
Yeah, so I think that sounds nice, but again, it doesn't change the reality of the situation. So you saying something on a podcast doesn't change the amount of men that die every year in a crab fishing boat. But what I like to do is be as accurate as I possibly can. And that is why I say that women do not do as useful or as needed jobs in society as men do. If men's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would crumble. If women's jobs disappeared tomorrow, society would be fine.
Oh,
So
really?
when we say stuff like that, man, a lot of people get upset because it just seems like we're diminishing the roles of women. No, we're not really diminishing the roles of women in general, because their roles in the workplace, like we could get rid of all the women in the workplace and we would need more men to supply that because of what feminism has done. The birth rate is lower. So we have less people in the work. Like if women just left the workforce, we would be depleted. Like this shit's like, if we were to try and fix it the way that like a lot of people, like the conservatives would say, like, we need to take women out of the workplace, we would probably have a collapse because um, we're too used to women being in the workplace. We would need more men because men aren't. There's not enough men to replace that supply because of the birth rate is lower now. So we have to. So what we're doing now is we're just identifying what went wrong because with women in the workplace, we're having less children. So this is why we're having this discussion surrounding feminism because we want to propagate the humanity for as long as possible. I don't really, honestly, if you want my opinion, we're gonna get taken out either the same way the dinosaurs got taken out, which was by an asteroid, or some kind of genocide or war, like all out world war, like because the more people you kill, the harder it is to replace the birth rate. So it's going to be somewhere along the lines of that because I don't think feminism is going to be the end of humanity. I just think something else greater is going to end it. So right now we're just having this discussion because we're in times of peace. So feminism has circled the webs because of COVID. Now everybody's talking about it. But yeah, not to get off too much from the subject.
Who's going to raise all the children?
Women aren't even raising their own kids. They're in daycare.
That's actually
They're in
incorrect.
daycare and public school.
No.
No, it's $1 billion industry.
It is $1 billion industry, but statistically, women have the majority of childcare burden, and not a lot of people can afford daycare nowadays.
Well, who is the kid spending the most time with if the mom's at work? Most mothers work nowadays. So the kid is spending more time at school or at daycare.
Yeah,
Because usually
or
school
with
gets out
extended family.
at like 2:30. It's not the norm. People don't really have extended family. School gets out at 2:30 or 3. They go to daycare for 2 or 3 hours.
What about before school? What about before daycare? Because a lot of times,
Okay, like
especially in that
45
first
minutes in the morning.
no, like the first 2 years of life, at least, a lot of people aren't sending newborns and like.
It's not uncommon.
No, it's not uncommon, but it's also
my sister works at a daycare. They get newborns like within the first couple months all the time.
We're talking about like populations, right? We're talking about like statistics, and the majority of people are not
Can I
sending
look up
their
the average age. Do you care if I look? I'm just
No, you can
curious.
look it up.
What is the average age kids go in daycare?
No, that's
I actually don't know the answer to that question.
that wouldn't be the
Kids.
question that I would ask, but I'm curious what that answer is.
Okay, I'm just curious. We recommend kids start daycare as early as 6 weeks old. Doesn't
What?
give me an average.
That's
Just says
crazy.
kids can start daycare as early as 6 weeks. That's all I got.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that wouldn't
Yeah,
be the question
yeah,
that I
I
would
know.
Google.
Go ahead.
Like, it would be because, right, we're talking about breastfeeding, we're talking about like bonding, a lot of these things, like especially.
I don't know, man. Like, this is why I do not want to have kids if the mother isn't going to be at home with her or with the kid 24/7. Well, not 24/7, at least during the times that I'm at work. So I would not want my 6-week-old child in a daycare. I mean, I don't care how certified you are. I don't know how they trust them in another person's hands because you can't love your child. A day provider isn't going to care for your child in the way that you do. So that's just tough, man. Honestly, like, so I don't even have to look this up to know that poor people are having the most kids. Like, it's people that there's a saying out there, and it's in a book somewhere. I just don't know the book, but they're saying the smarter people aren't having kids these days. So even though the people that are making the most money they can provide for kids very, very easily, um very stable households that make money aren't having kids because they just enjoy the lifestyle that comes without having kids. So it's so, and that's another thing that has changed, and this has nothing to do with feminism, the technology, the fact that we're not in our hunter-gatherer days, because back then there wasn't as much entertainment. We got internet, we got music, live music, we got all these things that take people away from actually starting families and stuff. It's a good way to meet people, but like they're not really making families because there's just too much entertainment. So now it's kind of incentivizing people to live a fun lifestyle, and you can't really do that raising kids most of the time. So what do you call them? Dinks? Like dual income, no kids? Like that's what they're calling people now, dinks. So Wow, it's kind of wild, man. Like the more entertainment we have, I think that's hurting the birth rate too, man. Because I'm entertaining myself doing this podcast when I can go out making babies. But I mean, it's whatever. It's kind of funny too at the same time, but it's not really.
And the first 2 to 6 months of life at least, like women bear the majority of that labor.
Sure, but I say so what?
I could say that to any
Men bear the majority of labor of running society for a lifetime.
And
On average, women have 1 to 2 kids. So okay, you could say that's 4 years. Men work 50 in a difficult job that gives us.
Oh hell no, I ain't working on 50 years. You got me bent like an elbow, man. Hell no, I'm gonna stop working in a few years. I'm not going to be working past the age of 45. And if I am, I'm doing something that I like to do. But she's not wrong though. Like, this is why I don't believe in two people working. And I've mentioned this on many occasions. I'm going to say it again. The woman doesn't have the testosterone to work as long and as hard as men. So when they get out of the workforce, now the man is responsible for a lifestyle that he can't support because she helped with that, with the finances and stuff. So what's he supposed to do? The woman's going to leave if he doesn't make his compensate for the money that she was making. So that's another reason why I don't believe in 50-50. So I'm not telling men not to date. I'm just telling them, hey, just understand that if you want your woman to work, she's going to be stressed out. She's going to have to be dealing with the same burdens of financial stability that you expect from her. So, if that made any sense.
The food that we have, the chairs we're sitting on, and the microphone we're talking in.
And who set that system up?
You should say thank you. Men did. Thank God for them.
No, you seem to have a problem with the amount that men work and the responsibility that men bear. And so
I don't have a problem with it. I'm acknowledging what it is.
A lot of people will say, people will say like when it's really hard to say a fact or identify a fact and without it sounding like we're complaining about it. Like we're just like she said before, she is reporting the news. She's not complaining about it. She's just reporting. She's making it. She's giving you information. She's not complaining about it. She's not bitching about it, and she's not trying to change it. She's just reporting it. So, and I don't think people understand how to take in information without people telling them how to feel about it. So it's she doesn't even give advice really. So it's kind of what I want to do. I want to give advice, but I really don't because like you can't generalize advice. Like if somebody wants advice from me, just like DM me or something, man. Like I don't like to give general advice because everybody's in a different situation.
Is and women should be thankful to men for doing it instead of complaining that they're not doing enough to make women's lives comfortable. We live in one of the most privileged times to be a woman ever. I mean, you have even the fact that you're saying the biggest problem is that they have to raise their kids in the early years. You know how privileged that is? I mean, you have the option to put them in daycare. You have the option to delay motherhood. They made IVF for us. They gave you birth. Like we have so many choices now, and we're still going to say they're not doing enough. That's bullshit.
Do you know how much work it takes to raise children?
I'm 1 of 10.
Yeah. So you should,
Yes, and that's why I want you to stay home. So, she just contradicted herself.
you should be
1 of 10 kids.
Okay, so here's my next question. Are your parents still married?
Yeah.
And wasn't your mom like a feminist on the UN who fought for women's rights at a global level?
Me and my mom don't agree on everything. What's your point?
Yeah, that she had 9 children and she's happily married as a feminist. So it seems like you should be fully aware and
She's
fully
not a feminist. She took me to Sarah Palin rallies when I was a kid.
Okay,
I went to like pro-life rallies when I was 12.
Yeah, I mean,
they come out of nowhere.
Right, but she also did advocate on a global level for like women's opportunities. So
Yeah,
it
and I
seems
don't.
like you should be fully.
Here's the thing: the internet only has half of that story, and
Usually
I
does.
can't. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. Like I don't try not to bring up personal situations because we're not trying to talk about our life story. Like this is supposed to be like a generalized debate. So when you bring up a personal situation, it kind of like now it gets too personal, and it doesn't help or hurt the argument. So it's just weird that she brought that up.
Tell the full one, just because it's not my place, so I can't really use that as an. I'm telling you, you're wrong though. That's not. If you had the full story, I just can't talk about it here.
Yeah, you
That's
say
not-
that a lot when people bring up your family, which is fine. But my main point is that you
Yeah, I don't. So why don't bring up the family? Like, I don't like to bring up my personal situations because I don't know if my family's watching. I don't think so, but um, like you just want to keep your family out of your mouth when you're doing a podcast. So I kind of understand Pearl's perspective on that because what she says is controversial. So she doesn't want to involve her family in her work, basically. So, yo, what's up, Siege? Hit the like.
are not ignorant to these ideas. You are not ignorant to these arguments. Like you on a global and personal level, like are aware of them. So to say who cares, like your mom cares, you know, to say who cares, a lot of us care. And I think that it takes a lot of strength to care. And I think that it actually to say, oh, I don't care, stop complaining, that's the easy way out. I don't want to take the easy way out. I think that being passionate about empathy is really like the strength. It takes strength to be sensitive. It takes strength to be vulnerable and transparent. I think that it's really easy and it's the easy way out to just be callous and to say we can't make change and I don't care about your feelings.
Okay, well, again, you can say
Yo, what is she talking about?
that, but it doesn't change the reality of the world. And the thing is, if you want to be in a man's world, then be in it. And what women try to do is they go into a man's world and tell them how it should be different.
Yeah, because as you
even though they've done none of
it
the
seems
work,
like you are
even
you
though they've done
interviewing
the
me or
work,
are we
even though they've done none of the work of building the society. But go ahead, sorry.
I would argue that our society would be better off if we did have a part in building it. Our society has been stagnated and has been held back because women have been held back. Imagine the prosperity and imagine the opportunity that the world would have if women weren't held back and women weren't stagnated. And you continuously complain about these things that men have.
I don't think women are held back. They're biologically not able to do what men can do. And I'm talking about the majority, not the minority. So there are some women that can, but most of them are not going to want to enter. Like most men don't want to be doctors, let alone women. So um like nobody's holding you back. You could do whatever you want to do. We're just telling you that if you decide to get into some of these male spaces, you're going to fail, most likely, and you're going to miss out on starting a family. So that's what I don't think she understands. Like, just because she became a doctor doesn't mean that everybody else is going to be a doctor. Not everybody can do the physical labor that men can do. It's like this is where a lot of women are led astray because the women, like some women, understand that they can't do. Like I would say the overwhelming majority of women agree that they can't do the things that men can do. But then you got the very small minority of women who are the loudest will kind of push back on that, and now you let an entire generation of women doing things that they're confused about. They're really confused of why they can't find a man at age 35. So and they just like, you guys should understand your biology and what you're capable of based on history. So if you don't do your history, then well, you're kind of following the narrative of people that have failed to make families and keep them together. So that's exactly what you're doing. You're following in the footsteps of people who failed to create families and keep them together.
Have to endure and then simultaneously call it a men's world that women should be grateful to be a part of, but we should also be sensitive towards the things that they've built that are detrimental to themselves.
So what do you think men did historically? Like, what do you think their jobs were? Like 1800s, what were your choices as a man to do as a job? Because, you always talk about how women were held back historically. So I'm asking, like, what was life like back then?
Well, women had to
1800s.
stay home and men had to do all of the jobs because they didn't allow women to help them.
What were their jobs that they did? What were the most common methods of employment back then?
I mean, what do you mean? I mean, it's going to be construction, it's going to be medicine, it's going to be food production, it's going to be factories, it's going like the same thing that runs all of society.
So they had three choices: coal miner, farmer, factory worker.
Nothing else happened in society.
I'm not saying nothing else. That was the majority of how people were employed. So you guys have this like rewritten history where you guys think that men just had these glamorous, fun jobs, but men did the difficult job. Men know that they didn't enjoy their jobs. It's like, do you think of any guys going to a coal mine and saying, wow, this is my passion?
And again, who set that system up?
It's not about who set it up. It's how would the system run without it? They need coal. At the time, they needed coal.
The system was set up because it just made sense. It was logic. Like we needed certain things in place to get shit done, man. Like there's like nobody's doing something that doesn't make sense typically. So
Like the same way now, somebody has to build the buildings. Somebody has to get the food. Otherwise, society does not run.
Correct. And we're better off when women participate and when women are able to help men. Like we talk about all of these like detrimental aspects of these harmful industries. And arguably, if we cared about how people felt, we were compassionate towards their experience, we would put more time and energy to improving these harmful industries. And if women had been allowed to enter into these industries earlier, you could argue that they would be safer industries because we have empathy and we want to value progression and we want to recognize problems and address them. We don't just see a problem and say, hey, that's a problem, and then sit on it. Like, no, you recognize a problem, you recognize what causes it, and you fix it.
Okay, so I told you about the crab fishing today. What are you going to do now?
As I said, that's not my job. There are people
Okay,
who
so
are
you're
on,
doing the same
excuse me,
thing.
if I
Okay,
could please
okay, go
speak.
ahead, go ahead.
As I've said before, there are people on safety committees. There are people on workers' unions. There are people whose jobs are dedicated to worker safety. So if you're very
shout out to the viewers on X. Like you're literally my only viewers, basically. So shout out to X for actually showing my video. Like YouTube, what the hell?
passionate about that, you should probably invite one of them to sit down in the studio and ask them that question.
Okay, so nothing. You're not going to
Because
do
that's
anything
not
about
my
it? Okay,
job.
I'm just clarifying. You're doing the same thing.
No, because I'm more than happy to recognize that it's a problem that should be addressed by somebody whose specialty it is to address that problem.
Okay, so the next topic I'm wanting to get into, and we can skip this one if you want, but I wanted to talk about trans and women's sports, or no? You want to talk about? You okay with that?
I mean, we can talk about it briefly. That's
Okay, yeah,
fine.
okay. I don't want to, you know. So okay, so how do you feel about trans women playing in female sports?
I personally have no problem with it. I think that there are advantages and disadvantages to be found in the spectrum of biology, regardless of like gender and otherwise. I see the concerns about the advantages that certain athletes will have over another. But again, I think that that is a problem that we recognize and we need to figure out how to address it to make it equitable for everybody to be able to participate appropriately. It is not my specialty. I don't have any specific solutions, but I think solutions do exist that we can utilize to make it like advantageous for everybody. I also think that this is an issue that is largely overblown. And if we want to talk about the issues in women's sports, trans athletes are not the major problem. There are so many bigger problems that should be addressed and should get a lot more airtime. But I think that this is a strategy
I got a solution. Just throw the whole nigga away.
that is utilized to distract attention away from real problems and to demonize a group, because this is the same thing we see on the political spectrum, right? Where we want to pick a group and demonize them and make everyone believe that this is the root of our problems when they are not. They are just people who want to participate in athletics and sports like everyone else. And I think that it's a really easy way for the sports committees and for media to direct attention to a small group of people and demonize them while ignoring the plethora of issues that female athletes have to endure otherwise.
So I actually agree with you on one part. I do think they overblow the issue. I've played volleyball for like 16 years. I told you before the podcast I had one experience, maybe. However, I'm a little bit confused by your answer because it was. Could you just say it in a more simple way? Are you for it? You're okay with it, or you're not?
So I
like okay. If they said tomorrow, they said, I'm sorry, I do this sometimes, but they said tomorrow, hey, you get the final decision. Are they allowed or are they not allowed?
So I would reject that option because it's a nuanced discussion. I think that if you want to turn something nuanced into black and white, you're going to run into problems and you're going to automatically come to the wrong conclusion.
Well, but the way these leagues are run, they have a rule book. So when I was playing in England, there was a rule book every season. And so somebody has to write the rules.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the rule book, it has to be black and white.
It really doesn't though, because you could take into account hormone levels, you could take into account like muscle mass, like there are plenty of things that you could do to try to make things more fair and equal. And so I don't think it's necessarily what are your genitals, that's the group you get assigned to. Like I think it's a way more complex and nuanced issue.
Do you think that women have a right to feel uncomfortable in locker rooms when men are in them? Sorry, I know you're going to say it's like trans, whatever you call them, but the guys dressed like whatever. The men pretending to be women.
So
Sorry,
I think
know you're going
trying
to call it something else.
You're
but-
trying to talk about people who are assigned male at birth, but who identify as women through like societal norms.
Yeah.
Like that is what a trans woman is, like by definition.
It's too long for me.
I know. It seems like you don't really like complicated thoughts. So it seems to be like the.
That was rude.
I mean, I'm just making an
That was funny
observation
as
because
shit.
anytime that I try to implement nuance into a discussion, you say like,
That was rude. Yo, that was funny as hell.
That's just overthinking it. That's just too complex. So it just
not
seems like
necessarily. The reason I say that is because I think you do that to evade questions where you can't give a definitive answer.
No, because
and so
you
I just
want-
like to be direct and get like, what do you believe out of this? And sometimes I think you talk in circles.
because you can't keep up with what I'm saying. So
No,
I
I can keep up.
Yeah, and
but
so
I think you need to just
because
give a
you're
direct
asking
answer. Go ahead.
you're asking
Yo,
me
they're
nuanced
arguing
questions that
about
require a nuanced answer, but you can't ask a nuanced question and desire a black and white answer. That's just like not how the world works.
But that's
as
a
you
really
like to
simple
say.
question. What would the rule book say?
And I answered that. I said that we should be able to take into account different biochemical markers in order to make something more equitable.
Okay, so a trans person comes in and they say, I want to play in the women's league. How are you going to deal with the situation?
What I just said, take into account biochemical markers to make the competition more equitable.
Okay, so how would you measure it? What
That's
is
not
the
my job.
process?
So there's
Okay.
so many things, as I mentioned previously, there's hormone levels, there's muscle mass, there's all these different things that you can measure. If we're really going to say that trans people in sports are this huge issue that we need to dedicate so much time to, then if we're going to dedicate this much time to talking about them, then we should dedicate equally the
It
amount of
wouldn't be
time.
that-
We
it
should
wouldn't be-
dedicate
It
equally
wouldn't
the
be that long of a conversation if you just got to the answer. Are they allowed or are they not allowed?
Because it's not a
if they're,
simple
If they're
answer.
allowed, what exceptions are we making?
It's not a simple answer. You want a simple answer to
I'm just listening to this right now. I'm trying to figure out how to react to this. It's like it's weird that we live in times where we have to have this discussion. Like this makes no sense. Like this is just a bunch of degenerate shit happening in our times right now. Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm gonna have to leave it there, man. Where am I at? So I'm at the 43-minute mark. If you guys want to finish the video, you can. I don't want to take away too many of her views. So I'm not really killing it too much, but it's a pretty good discussion, man. It's like I'm probably gonna finish it on my own. I just don't want to drag on too much, man. I'm going to do a martial arts stream later on. So make sure you guys tune into that, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will check you guys later.